Thursday, guys.
Happy Thursday.
Oh, boy. Gotta love that post shotgun burp audio. I hope that was some ASMR for you guys to start your Thursday.
Demonetized already?
Yep, ready.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway, how's everyone's Thursday going?
Oh,
we didn't have
man.
a game yesterday. We're going to have a little watch along for a couple minutes today.
Yeah. What's up, Antonio? How you doing today, dude? Hell yeah.
Hey, buddy.
We love Antonio jumping in here. Drinking early, That's what an Elias trade will do to you. Yeah, we've got some Orioles news, guys. Brian Baker, who cost me several pesos the other night, has been traded to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays for the 37th overall pick. What are you guys' initial thoughts on that?
I love it.
So do I.
Man, judging by Orioles Twitter, if they didn't have anything to bitch about, then they wouldn't be tweeting. They probably wouldn't even have a Twitter. You bitch. You just see everyone's bitching about Brian Baker the entire. Like, why did you put him in that situation when he's been pitching so well this year? And everyone's been pretty amped up on. He has come around. I mean, he's reinvented himself with that changeup. And then everyone's bitching when he blows the lead, and then we trade him for a first round pick, and everyone's losing their mind about that now. And it's like, what? It feels like Elias is almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a great trade for the Orioles. We've got now, as our buddy Sean Barletta texted us, we have now 4 picks in the top 40 of this year's draft. That's a great way to retool and revamp on the fly. I think Brian Baker, as well as he's pitched this season, definitely has some hiccups. And like Brooks said earlier in our text message thread, his value's never been higher. We're never going to get a better value for Brian Baker than we got today.
Nope.
And like, I mean, we're 10 games below 500, guys. I know people want us to be in on this team still, but you watch games like what happened the other night against the Mets, and you get so frustrated, and it's been like that the whole season. So I'm okay with the trade. I like getting an asset back for a guy, who's been a little bit shaky in his career, albeit having a good year so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it. Like, am I a little? I would say, like, I've really enjoyed watching Brian Baker pitch this year. With that new changeup, whatever the kick change you want to call it, it looks awesome when it's rolling. But I mean, when he starts leaking over the middle again, I mean, we've seen it here a couple times. I mean, most recently is the most recent thing that we saw is him blowing that lead. When he starts leaking over the middle a little bit, he's gonna get crushed because he doesn't have a ton of movement on his fastball. I mean, it's relatively straight. I mean, obviously he throws gas, but yeah, I mean, I'm for that. Like, his value's never higher. We got another first round pick. They must like a lot of guys in the draft right now, and depending on how aggressive they're going to be, they could be flipping this for something else in another package. Who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know yet. So there's another 20 days to the deadline, 21 days to the deadline. So honestly, there's a couple like Stroud. There's a couple guys in the minors. Plus, we'll see what happens like when Wells comes back. Is he going to the bullpen? It's all going to depend on who we end up trading at the deadline as well. There's a lot of moving parts here that we just don't know yet. And again, value's never been higher for Brian Baker. So getting a first round pick out of that, I'm completely cool with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anyway, we got to talk about the game the other night. We got
to talk about Laura.
Oh, what's up, Laura? Thank you. $5. We appreciate that, Laura. Thank you so much.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to
I
that.
need to get a Laura shirt.
No. You need to get a Laura shirt?
That'll pay for my keyboard. I just spilled my drink all over.
Brian, I don't think you need another shirt. That you could just wear that one forever. The Chicken Palooza shirt. It gets me every time. Yeah, if you guys are unaware, we are doing our all 2000s MLB draft today.
That's good,
Before
right?
we do that.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's not good.
Is that good?
That's not good.
That's not good.
Shit.
But before we do that, we have to talk about the game the other night. I was working at the Green Turtle, and in Ocean City, we got a big storm on Tuesday. I don't know if it was raining in Baltimore or wherever you guys are, but we got a huge storm, and we have DirecTV at the bar, as most bars do down here, because you get a lot of options channel-wise and stuff like that. But the slightest bit of rain will take DirecTV out in a heartbeat or in a second. And so the TV goes off. It's 6-2. The Orioles are cruising. The TV comes back on. It's 6-6. I'm like, what in the hell just happened? And I text our group chat, and they said single homer. And it was all Brian Baker's fault. I'm so glad he's on Devil Rays now. But anyway, it was a really rough game the other day, and then the power ended up going out of Turtle, so that was a rough end to the night. But yeah, it was a really frustrating loss. It looked like we had it in the bag, but on the positive note, it looks like Jackson Holiday, especially over the last couple of games, is really getting into a groove at the plate, which I love to see. What do you guys have anything from the game the other night? Did you get to watch it, or did your TV cut out too, Brian?
No, I was there.
Oh, you were at the game.
I was at the game, yeah. So
okay.
We left in the 8th inning after the Orioles took the lead. It's because one of the people that I was with wanted to get the hell out of there for a reason that was legit. So while we were in transit back, when we found out the Orioles gave up the lead again, or at least the game got tied, and that's when I got pissed that we weren't still there. But it is what it is. We had to leave, and I'm not pissed in the moment, but yeah. So I was at the game.
How was the attendance? Did you get a Hawaiian shirt?
No, it was. People were in line early. It rained here earlier in the day, like right around game time, a little bit before game time. So I think the game was delayed a little bit. So we just went to Pickles, of course. Had a couple pops, but people were in line around the stadium waiting for those things. There was zero chance of getting one.
You didn't go to the Half Irish Pub?
No. Oh no! We did. No, we did.
Did you actually? Hell yeah!
That was the first stop. We stopped by Quigley's, and of course, John Quigley's in there, awkward as hell as always. He always has that 10,000-yard stare, like right in my face, like, dude, I know who the fuck you are, but I can't put my finger on it. And then I'll order a Tullamore Dew, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that
guy." You're that guy. Oh man, we have had some fun, weird times at that bar.
It looks like Brooks is sniffing his keyboard. Yeah, that's what that looks like.
It smells like passion. Yeah, I just spilled a passion fruit high noon all over it.
What is passion fruit?
I
real thing.
That thing. No free ads. That thing.
Yeah.
Does that look like a passion fruit to you?
No free ads. I like that.
Free ads.
Oh man, I have put together a list of baseball players. I am really excited for this draft, but we're going to talk some O's first. Gary Sanchez, 8 to 12 weeks with what was it, a knee strain or a sprain? I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's a big dagger for a guy who's been really good in the lineup. We know about his struggles behind the dish so far this year. Unfortunately, defensively, he's not the best catcher in the world, but obviously. If you've watched the Orioles over the course of the last month, you know that Gary was one of our more consistent hitters in the lineup for over the course of the last month, at least since Adley has been out. So it's a big blow to the offense. Obviously, Stallings is going to be taking, I guess, the majority of the time behind the dish. Do we know if Trump or Maverick or any of those guys are coming back anytime soon?
Not that I'm aware of.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, they picked up that Jackson guy from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I don't know. I mean, the 10 days is up for Maverick, but we talked about it. He's had concussion issues, so don't know where that's at the moment. But yeah, Trump. What was Trump's? Why am I blanking on Trump's injury? Was that a shoulder or a lat strain too? I mean, I feel like everyone's got a fucking.
No, didn't he get like dove into or something like that? Didn't he get slid into? Was that him?
Why am I? No, I mean that Maverick Hanley is the one who got helicoptered by Jazz.
Yeah,
is that what you're thinking of?
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I can't. Regardless, I can't remember. It's setting up perfectly for. Honestly, I kind of think Creed Willems will come up at some point. It could be somebody that we get at the break. I mean, again, going back to the Brian Baker trade, this could be something where they got another first round pick for Brian Baker to flip into something else at the trade deadline for a catcher. So I really don't know. It's very speculative at this point. So
this is new. This is new to baseball. Like this rule where you can trade draft picks this has not been a thing for a long time. And I know you're only allowed to trade. Right? You're only allowed to trade compensatory picks. So you can't trade your actual draft picks. You can only trade the comp picks that you get. So this is what happened here. People see a comp pick and they're just like, "What the hell are we trading Brian Baker for a bag of peanuts?" But then you look. The pick is number 37 in the draft. I mean, that's a first rounder. Yeah.
So I wonder if that counts as like as our, because that was the Rays compensatory pick. Does that count as our compensatory pick now too? Can we use that to flip?
I mean, it's still a comp pick, so I believe you could use it to trade if you wanted to. Okay. If I were a betting man, I would say we're probably going to stick and pick at all those places and try to load up the farm as much as we can. But I mean, obviously, you have options there. So I think I like the trade once again. I think it's a little weird, obviously, because we don't see baseball draft picks being traded, especially like normally in baseball, especially interdivision. But I texted the group this morning and I said I'll bet $10 that Brian Baker turns into a stud in Tampa because they just have a factory there where they just pump out great pitching somehow. I don't get it. But
they love guys with good changeups, and Brian Baker's new kick changeup is pretty damn good. I mean, say what you want about it, but he's pitched well this year. He's got a lot of big outs for us this year. So, I mean, good. I mean, Brian Baker seems like an awesome dude too. I mean, everybody had to be pretty pumped up when he's gotten a lot of big outs for us this year in some tough situations. And I mean, his fire coming off the mound is awesome. It's good. It's good to see him succeed. But I mean, I can't turn down, like, if I'm Elias, like if I'm in his shoes, I can't turn down a first round pick. Like, how can you not? And honestly, like, there's some guys down there that I'm okay with coming up and getting some. CNL's still down there. He's still pitching like shit, to be honest with you, but you gotta feel like he could get right at any moment. Stroud has looked okay. Wells is coming back, and if nobody gets traded off the starting rotation, he'll probably be in the bullpen. There's just a lot of what ifs. Like catcher is more of a need. Like, and I feel like Creed Willems is going to come up before Basayo since we're still on the catching topics. And and I was looking up some stats this week because we only see the highlights of Sam Basayo, right? And obviously he's crushing the ball down there, and we see him like throwing out runners on Twitter, and then everybody underneath of it's like, oh, obviously he's not ready. Like, obviously he's not as good of a defender as he can't be as good as Gary Sanchez and all that stuff. First of all, we got to remember he's had 2 elbow injuries in the last 2 years, and he's still rehabbing one right now. That's why he's not catching as much. And second of all, we've only seen the runners he's thrown out. Do you know how many runners he's thrown out this year?
I do not.
3 out of like 16.
Oh,
not good.
Yeah.
So, or 15 or something like that. It's not good. Regardless of what it is, it's not good. So I know we see that, we just see all the highlights on Twitter, and it's cool to like post that, and it's cool to like see that and be like, oh, obviously he can't do as good of a job as Gary. He probably would be fine, but why would you do it? But now with Gary being hurt, we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. But if you can't get a catcher, I don't see how they can't go get somebody. Especially if they want to make a push. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean,
you
sat there and said at the beginning of this podcast that you're kind of out on them right now, but I can't sit here and say I'm out before the All-Star break, and there's 7 games out of the wild card with guys coming back, with them starting to play better, with them starting to hit better, starting to look like the Orioles of old. There's just too much upside. Like, there's no way the second half should be as bad as the first half, right? We said that about the beginning of this year, but we saw
You're
how that
right.
went.
Yeah, but the problem is I mean, was the first half so bad that even if we're great in the second half, it won't matter? That's what you have to look forward to. If you look at Rock's Twitter, I guess he was Mike Elias was asked about the Brian Baker trade, and he was asked specifically if he was looking past 2025. But he said, yes, it's a step in that direction, but he also wants the team to keep the foot on the gas. Elias says he still expects the team to contend in 2026. This is not another rebuild. But he obviously, I think they might be, slightly moving in the direction of punting this year. And I think that's okay based on where we stand
trading
right now.
Brian Baker, you feel that way?
No, but I think it's the stepping stone for more to come. And I think a lot of Orioles fans are going to be upset about that. Honestly, I think if you're a rational Oriole fan at this point, you have to understand that this season is just not going as planned. We're going to get a lot of these pitchers back at the end of this year. That's not going to help us turn the first half around. The first half is already gone. We're 10 games below 500. Do I think is there a world where we could make a big push in the second half and be great and make a run and sneak into the playoffs? Yeah, I think there's a world, but we have to pass a lot of teams. A lot of things have to go right. And I think we're going to be sellers at the deadline. I don't think we're going to be selling our long-term assets, but I've said it several podcasts in a row. I think we're going to be selling the guys that are on the last year of their deal. And I think it's okay. And I think people are going to be upset about it, but I mean, I'm not.
I disagree with you.
Fair enough.
I mean, I just don't. You say that there's a lot of teams in front of us, but it's a jam-packed a lot of teams in front of us, and it's a lot of teams that we're going to play. So it's a lot of teams that we are. I mean, you sit there and look at these teams, and you're like, we're better than these fucking teams, man. Mm-hmm. And we're playing like shit, and we're dealing with injuries. So I mean, if the Orioles get back to the Orioles of, I don't want to say the Orioles of old, but like playing halfway decent baseball, like we've seen it over the past month. Maybe even probably less than a month, but like we've seen it. It's there. It's starting to come. And Christ, all you need is like a guy or two just to get healthy and go on a run. Do you really think Tyler O'Neill's going to bat 180 the rest of the year? It's going to depend on his health, but if he's healthy, I don't think so. There's no way he's going to bat 180 the rest of the year.
No, look, I once again, I still think we can have a good second half of the year and still just not make the playoff push that that we can expect, or that some people may be expecting. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to be as cautiously
give up before
optimistic.
The All-Star break when you're 7 games out of the wild card.
It's true, and you're right, but it's just, I don't know. You watch a game like the Mets game the other night, the Orioles Mets game the other night, where we just completely tank a win and we grasp defeat from the jaws of victory like we've done so many times this season. And I'm starting to get a little jaded as an Oriole fan, and I understand why people are freaking out on Twitter.
I do too.
I understand it, but I also think it's like, guys, what do you expect at this point in the year? I don't know. It's just a tough situation to be in. It's tough for Elias. I think Elias gets a lot of shit. I think he gets way too much shit, quite frankly. It's not his fault that we're on our 6th string catcher and that our top 3 arms in the rotation have been hurt all year. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that Gunnar came onto the team multiple weeks into the season and then took a little bit longer to get going. It's not his fault that Adley's hurt. It's not his fault that Westy's been in and out. It's not his fault that O'Neill's been struggling with his injuries. I think it's like, you can put blame a lot of places. It's just an unfortunate situation that the Orioles are in right now. And I don't know. Where are you at, Brian? You haven't spoken a lot on this.
No, it's okay. I mean, I really don't have much to add right now because look, we keep bitching about the injuries. We keep bitching about how everyone else is bitching about things. It's kind of stagnant. These are the dog days of summer. These are things that happen. I mean, are we going to make some moves? It's going to, just like we said a couple days ago, it's going to depend in the next 3.5 weeks what the hell we end up doing. I just don't want to keep beating this dead horse. And I'm also looking up players from the 2000s because I didn't do any research.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to find players that had good times between 2000 and 2010 and not like 2008 and 2019.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. You have
but I pulled some stats. I pulled some stats. Dusty, I don't know if you saw this or not. I know Brian's not on Twitter, but I posted these on Twitter yesterday. let's be real. The biggest issue right now is the Orioles fielding percentage is 985, which ranks them 23rd in the league. That's unacceptable, to be honest with you, with the amount of talent that's around this team. But so looking at upside here, just because I tend to skew positive, especially with the amount of talent. And we've talked about it all year. Dusty's seemingly starting to wane a little bit, which I understand for sure. Especially when you recency bias, we saw that last outing. But since June 1st, I mean, Adley's batting 309, Westbird's batting 298, Gunner's batting 298, Laureano's batting 280, Jackson's batting 254, Colton's batting 243, and all the way down our all-star that's in the all-star game is batting 202 since June 1st. That's a month and 10 days. So guys are starting to turn it around, and on the flip side, we're seeing O'Hearn. I mean, he was up to like almost 340 at one point, right? Or 330. And he's down to 290 or something like that. And he's batting 202 since June 1st.
He had a massive hit the other night.
He did.
He did. It was huge. We needed it so desperately.
Bases loaded, no out.
Yeah. That double down the right field line over the first baseman's head. That was a massive hit. And we like seeing that. Obviously, the game didn't go the way we wanted to. I feel like I've said obviously so many times. I'm going to try to avoid that moving forward. But my eyes are hard. My eyes are opening a little bit wider now. It's been a rough morning for the old dust ball.
Yeah, what happened last night?
For Juan Samuel. The cork bar happened last night is what happened.
That'll happen.
We had multiple big rainstorms last night. It was kind of off and on, and so the boardwalk was really slow. So we were able to close a little bit early. Normally we close around midnight. Last night we closed just before 11. So we hopped down to the cork bar, and the cork bar happened. And I don't know if you guys are from Ocean City, if you live in Ocean City, or if you've been to Ocean City. If you've been to the cork bar, you know what goes on there. And it's it ain't ballet.
Yeah, corked.
I got corked.
You got corked. You got corked and not the gay kind, right?
Yeah. It was rough. It was a rough one. So we're gonna drink through it. This is the hair of the dog. This is what bit me last night, along with probably a lot of bombs. Billy Wilkins, thank you, but god damn it, man.
Did you guys happen to see my Trevor Rogers stat I posted, Dustin? Well, I know Brian didn't.
I did not. No.
Well, you were out doing some balleting last night, but
yeah, I was doing some ballet.
When did the season start this year?
March,
I believe.
March.
Charlie Morton probably had one start in March, right?
I guess, yeah.
If you had to assume,
yeah.
This is without me looking up, and then obviously we have all of April, which is Dean Kramer's least favorite month, month of the year. Apparently, it's Charlie Morton's this year as well, because I pulled May 1st on until now. He's 5-1 with a 3.38 ERA, 50 innings pitched, 58 strikeouts, 14 walks. That is who we paid $15 million to. That guy. Yep. That's who we were expecting. Yep. If you get rid of April, he's everything you wanted. April was abysmal, like the worst in his career, obviously. But that guy, obviously, we might not see him here in a couple of weeks, but that's the guy you paid $15 million to. That's the guy that Elias was expecting.
Yeah.
So
and people forget, people were frustrated because Scherzer and Verlander both got the same contracts. Scherzer has basically not pitched all year for the Blue Jays. I think he has 2 or 3 starts at this point, and
Verlander
I don't know
have a win.
I don't know what Verlander's doing, but I don't think it's good. He's 0-7 with a 4.7 ERA. One of the best pitchers of this generation, probably going to be going in our draft. Actually, probably more of a 2010s guy. But
he's like we're
incredibly frustrated as Oriole fans with the season that Charlie Morton had early, but the way he's bounced back, I think round of applause to that guy for keeping his head in the game and trusting his stuff and just knowing you're too good to be this bad, right?
You got to give him his props, right? I mean,
yeah,
on the
for
flip
sure.
side, Sugano since June 1st.
What the hell, man? He's our boy, Steve. Is he
Steve.
pitching the second game today? He was supposed to pitch last night.
The projected starters are Morton first game and Sugano's second game.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, since June 1st, he's got 30 innings, 7 ERA. He's 2-2 somehow because one of those games he gave up like 6 or 7 runs, I think, and ended up winning that game. But yeah, he's had a rough go of it. Him and Eflin, obviously.
Yeah.
But
well, Eflin has one arm, so that's rough.
True.
Oh man. All right.
Also,
I think
Trevor Rogers, 2 ERA, guys. 2 ERAs since June 1st. I mean, we already knew this, but I mean,
worst
sitting
trade
here
in Orioles
looking at
history.
it and putting it. What's that?
Worst trade in Orioles history. Remember?
Right. I mean, again, we can't sit here and say we can't sit here and play the "I told you so" card, but it's also, yeah.
By the way, I gotta give you a better look at this Phillip Rivers jersey that I'm rocking right now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Phillip Rivers jersey and a Tiger Woods hat. They're not connected at all.
No.
Tiger and Phil,
or are they?
They may be. I don't know. It gives me confidence that Elias says that he's not going for a full rebuild. Obviously, I don't think it would be a good. I said obviously again. God damn it! All right,
what's going on with you today, dude?
I don't know, man. I guess hungover Dusty says the word obviously quite a bit.
You have a propensity to say obviously.
Yeah. Oh man, I have no idea how much time I spent on Maglio Ordonez's baseball reference page this morning. Oh man, it's been a weird morning. I've been researching 2000s baseball players like a madman because I wasn't happy with my 90s draft, so I want to make sure that I nail this one. I think there's a couple of clear top guys in this one. Do you guys want to get into it?
Well, yeah. I mean, is there anything else going on around the league that we haven't touched on since Tuesday?
We'll do it afterwards. Let's do our draft first, and then we'll get after it. We'll do that afterwards because the game starts at 12:05. So I don't want to do the draft during the game.
Yeah.
I do need to get my pick to click in, and the lineup is out. Holiday, Westberg, Laureano, O'Neill, Urias.
Holiday
today. I'm on the holiday train.
Holidong. He's hitting a Holidong today. Hell yeah.
All right, I'm putting it in.
Yeah. The Mortician is going to be on the bump in the first game. I call him the Mortician. His name is obviously Charlie Morton. Obviously.
Ooh. No Henderson in the first game.
No Gunner, huh? All right.
Vasquez at short.
It must be a lefty on the bump because I saw a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup. Yeah, it's Holiday and Cows are the only lefties. Everyone else right-handed. Holiday, Westberg, Laureano, O'Neill, Urias, Cowser, Vasquez, Mayo, and Stallings. Let's get into our draft. Last week we did the 90s. This week we are doing the aughts, 2000s, all MLB lineups. We're going to do it snake draft style. Do we have an order?
Do we have an order? Yes, I think if Brian won again, man, he was winning. He's on a hot streak like you wouldn't believe.
I mean, you don't talk about it either. But I'm just going to say this.
No, I lied.
Me today. Just came
I lied.
on.
What'd you say?
I'm getting very choppy service. So I didn't hear you, buddy. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you either. That's why I was asking what you said.
You didn't miss anything. You're good.
All right. Dusty and Drew actually tied. I came in second and Brian was third. So I must have been thinking about last week's draft, or I was thinking about the other Tuesday's draft.
Okay.
But since Drew is not here, apparently he had too many silver bullets last night, and he's going to the game today.
Okay.
He's trying to get his mind right to go. But yeah, Dusty's first. I'll take second. Brian third.
Okay. I think there is a couple different ways you can go here. I'm going to have to get a ruling for you guys. Is A-Rod okay for shortstop, or is he a third baseman?
It's up to you. It's all about the stats. When did he transfer to third?
When he went to the Yankees, which was like mid 2000s.
08.
So, yeah, he played a lot of shortstop in the 2000s, right?
Yeah, then that's
so
fine.
we're okay as long as you guys are okay with it. I have to take him. I think.
Well, yeah. I
is.
mean, you just have to specify.
Yeah.
So-
I'm going to put A-Rod at short. I know there's probably better player. I mean, there definitely are better players, but just based on positional value, I'm going to take A-Rod at 1-1.
So you're going first.
Yeah, I'm going first, and
Okay.
I'm taking Alex
All
right.
Rodriguez.
All right.
I'm taking
I thought we were
Alex
still picking the
Rodriguez.
order. God damn it.
No.
I think
I thought you made the order 1, 2, 3. Me, you, Brian.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But I'm going third.
Okay.
Brian,
you're going
you go
third.
second.
Okay.
Brian goes second. That's fine.
Since Dusty.
I jumped the
going
gun.
first.
I'm sorry. I jumped the gun, guys.
All right. Look, I'm getting this out of the way right now because last week I went straight up position of need because of position scarcity.
Mhm.
Screw that this week. I'm going straight to the top, baby. Give me Albert Pujols at first base.
Yeah. Why don't you just
Gotcha.
eliminate them, Albert?
I am not the machine. I am just Albert.
I'm just Albert. Yeah, I think that's a great pick. That guy was an absolute freak show. Do you want him at first base? Because he played a little left and third.
First base.
First base, got it. All right, just making sure. Brooks, you get 2 in a row here, and there's some freaking bangers on the board.
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously he didn't play all of the 2000s, but I got to take Bonds again.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's
won 4
got
straight MVPs.
Yeah. 4 straight MVPs. He set the home run record in 2001.
Yeah.
I was not trying not to, but I was on the fence if I was going to take him or not. But I mean, there's just no way I can't.
Yeah.
Absolute stud, Barry Lamar Bonds. Only member of the 500 club, 500 homers, 500 stolen bases.
Yeah. I didn't know that. And you know what? I think when did Trout come in the league?
2012 was his rookie year.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't take him.
He'll be 1-1 next week.
Yeah. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and take Buster Posey.
Buster Posey didn't come into the league that early either, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Buster Posey.
He's like 06 or 07.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that pick. His first year was 2009. Pick somebody else. I mean, you could take him. It's 1 year.
Yeah, you're right. Because all right, this list. This is
It's probably all encompassing.
Yeah, it's yeah. All right, this is a no-brainer. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera. Okay, I like that. You're putting him at third, I assume.
Probably, but I'll decide that once I get over to that.
Okay, that's fair. He really good young player for the Marlins, and then obviously went to the Tigers later in his career. Obviously. Oh my God, I'm gonna shoot someone if I keep saying that. Brian, who is your next pick?
I'm going to go around the horn here. We're going to go second baseman. I'm going to go Alfonso Soriano.
Alfonso Soriano. One of the best seasons a second baseman has ever had with the Washington Nationals in his only year there. Had a 40-40 season. People forget. Played a little outfield for the Cubs as well. Played for the Yankees. Was involved in that Alex Rodriguez trade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I am not going to go. I usually go positional value, and I just don't think I'm going to do it this draft, like Brian said. But I'm going to take. I'm just going to lie. I'm going to take Pudge. Ivan Rodriguez. I know he was probably the first catcher taken last week, or maybe it was Piazza, but still, just one of the best catchers of all time, and I'm going to get him and solidify behind the dish. After that, I already have a shortstop with A-Rod, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to go to the outfield here, and I'm going to take the best center fielder of the 2000s, Carlos Beltran, in center field. And he is going to give me some switch hitting lineup flexibility.
You're already playing.
We're playing chess, not checkers, baby.
This guy's playing for a 7-game series here. Look at this.
Yeah. You thought I was going to zig, but I zagged.
Oh, you zagged. All right, we're going to continue to go
Brian,
around the horn here, except I'm going to skip shortstop, go to third base. I will take Mr. Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, that's a great pick. His 2004, I believe, season with the Dodgers, he was unbelievable.
Unreal. I mean,
unbelievable. And then went to Boston and Texas after his small stint in Seattle, where he wasn't very good, which was weird. But Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre is going to be playing the hot corner for Brian. Brooks, you get 2 in a row. Who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and take Jorge Posada behind the plate.
Jorge Posada, hip hip.
Jorge.
hey!
Jorge Posada.
And I gotta take Jeter at short. I mean,
wow. I think there is a former Orioles shortstop that I would have taken ahead of him.
All right. I'm going to go to the outfield, and I will be selecting Mr.
be the popular pick,
Ichiro.
though.
What's that?
He'd be a popular pick. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm going to take Mr. Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah, that was tough it's a tough look for us to go this long and not take
Tough
Ichiro.
look.
I
completely forgot.
Tough look for me taking Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran's a Hall of Famer, but yeah, he's not going to go. I don't know if he's going to go in, but not as good as Ichiro. That's for sure.
Fuck.
So he's got Pujols, Soriano, Beltre, and each at this point.
I'm digging that lineup right there, buddy. I don't know.
I don't dislike it. Brooks, wait, did you take 2 in a row?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to,
because I have the wraparound.
Oh, you're right. I'm stupid. The way I have it set up, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Okay, so I get 2 in a row here. Give me Manny Ramirez in left field.
Ram.
Absolute stud. Obviously, God damn it. He is a defensive liability in the outfield, but it's okay. Carlos Beltran's going to cover a lot of ground in my outfield. We're going to be fine.
You're doing this that we're actually going to have these teams play each other.
Oh, yeah.
I love.
Oh, yeah. I would love that. I would pay so much money for that to see that. I need first, I need second, I need third, and I need an outfielder. I think the best third baseman is still on the board. Give me Chipper Jones. Larry Chipper Jones. I posted a video of Chipper Jones on my Instagram story this morning. Talking about Barry Bonds. So, yeah, I got Manny and Chipper. Brian, you are back. What do you got?
All right. Let me go to the pitching, man. Let me go starter.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna pull the change up here. Give me Mr. Andrew Jones in the outfield.
Yeah, that's a kind of a miss on our part as well. Andrew Jones, what an absolute animal that guy was.
There was a 6 or 7 year span where he was the outfielder in terms of defense and hitting combo, and he used to do that snatch catch. I remember that back in the day, and I remember if we did that in college, my college coach would have fucking hit me over the head with a fucking
2 hands.
Stealth.
An Easton Stealth. I love it. The orange one, the Stealth comp. That was bad.
All
right, Brooks, you get 2 in a row here. What are your thoughts? You need 2 outfielders, first base, and second base, a DH, pitchers, and a manager.
Second base, I am going to go Chase Utley.
Yeah, I think he's the best one. I agree with you. Chase Utley.
You didn't take Junior Spivey? That's weird.
No, Jose Vitro? What's wrong with you?
I'm thinking Luis Castillo.
Ooh, that's a name.
And first base, You know what? Give me the local boy. Give me Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira at first base. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. That guy was an absolute stud.
Give me the Baltimore boy.
Quite a long time.
Give me the Baltimore boy.
Really hard name to spell, Mark Teixeira.
By the way, he got ripped for not going to Baltimore when he was a free agent.
Yeah.
Nah,
he did.
I wouldn't blame him.
That's a fact. Our mom was one of those people ripping him.
Well, when you get 30 or 40 million extra dollars from the Yankees, I'd go to New York.
Oh, yeah. You know, when the Orioles don't act like they actually want you to come there, probably not going to go there.
All right, Brian, you get another pick here. You need a catcher, a shortstop, and an outfielder, a DH, and the pitchers.
Okay, I'm going to go catcher. I'm going to go Brian McCann.
Brian McCann. Wow. Okay, he wasn't even on my list.
What?
Brian McCann.
Okay.
Brian McCann was really good.
Jared Saltamakia?
Remember his jersey?
Yeah.
The name on his jersey almost went all the way around the number.
Yeah. It did like a half moon around it. Wow. All right. So we got all the catchers out of the way. No Jason Varitek sighting. No Joe Mauer sighting either, by the way, which I think
Mauer came in late.
Crazy.
He came in like 07, 08. So
I think he came in like 05, but yeah, either way.
No Yachty either.
No Yachty. Played forever. Okay, so I'm back with 2 picks in a row here. I need a first baseman, a second baseman, and an outfielder. I think the best player available is Todd Helton, so I'm going to take him at first. I also need a lefty in the lineup. I got a lot of righties.
This guy, you're still breaking me every time. You're killing me every time.
We're playing a baseball game, and these guys are studs. I really, really want to take the best bat flip of all time at second base, but I just think it's too early for him. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take another center fielder, and I'm going to put him in center field and move Beltran over to right. Give me Jim Edmonds. Absolute stud for both the Angels and the Cardinals. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Didn't get any votes. Absolutely criminal.
All right. I am absolutely stunned that you went Jim Edmonds, and I get to pick Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah. I needed a right-handed hitter, dude. You got Vlad Guerrero, Vlad the Impaler, 2 weeks in a row in this draft, by the way.
Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the
Impaler. Jesus Christ.
I'm on one. Jorge Julio.
Jorge Julio.
That is a name.
That's a name. It's on my screen.
That is a name.
No one's picked a pitcher yet. Brooks, you get 2 in a row. You need 2 outfielders, a DH, some pitchers, and a manager. Yeah,
my DH has got to be kind of criminal that this guy has dropped. I mean, we keep saying this. Kind of criminal this guy has dropped this far. Lance Berkman.
Oh, switch hitter. I love it. You putting him in the outfield?
Switch hitter.
Putting him in the outfield?
Yeah.
Lance Berkman. He's playing the corner outfield.
Probably.
More
than likely.
I like that.
More than likely, unless I might have. Yeah. I gotta go. Man. You know what? We didn't take him last week, and I still feel bad about it. Give me Jim Thome.
Jim Thome. Is he going to be DHing, I guess? You're not putting him in the outfield.
He's either going to be DH or first. Not sure yet.
Jimothy. I would put Teixeira at first and keep Jim Thome in a DH hole. That's what I would do. But, you know.
Well, I mean, I could put Teixeira at third.
Your outfield defense is struggling, but you're going to be all right.
Nobody's looking at defense. Get out.
What are you doing here? Coming for the guy who just talked about the Orioles defense. All right.
My team is better than yours. Brian, you go.
You
need a shortstop, you need a DH, you need some pitchers and a manager. Nobody's taking a starting pitcher, by the way.
No, and that's because there's a ton of good ones in the 2000s. So like I'm not going to go wrong with any 4 of the ones I have written down.
You taking Josh Beckett or Javier Vasquez?
No.
Okay. Kenny Rogers?
Duh. Hello. With Rogers.
Kevin Millwood.
Great chicken. Great rotisserie chicken.
Okay, we got is Kenny Rogers who Kevin Costner was trying to play him for the lovely game, you think? Had to be, right?
Is that like a thing?
I don't know.
No, I just kind of feel like it. That's
Feel
just a
that?
feeling I got. Because he
Huh.
pitched when he was super old. He threw bullshit. Like, I think
Did
the
he throw
last
a
team he
perfect-
pitched for was Detroit or the
I think
Rangers, one or the
so.
other.
I think it was the
It was
last
either
time
the
he pitched for
Rangers or Detroit.
And didn't he throw a perfect game?
I know he was close to doing it when he was really old. I don't know if he actually did or not. That'd be something we should look
I'm looking
up.
it up now.
All right, so
Where are we at?
It's my turn.
Brooks took Jim Tomei and Lance Berkman back to back, so it's Brian's turn. He needs a
My
shortstop.
turn. I'm
and
gonna
a
go. I'm
DH.
gonna
Talk
go
about old
relief
fat
pitcher.
white guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go relief pitcher, and I will go with you got to go Mo, right? You got to go Mo Rivera. It's criminal not to do it as the first overall reliever.
Yeah, nobody took a starter still. But I get 2 in a row here, and I might change that. We're not sure. We're not taking Bobby Abreu, although I did have a look.
Man
Kenny
put on
Rogers.
that man put on a show in the Derby.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers did throw a perfect game, the 14th perfect game in MLB history.
Hell yeah.
How old was
That's
he?
awesome.
Blanking California Angels 4-0 in the ballpark of Arlington. So before they became the Anaheim Angels,
Tim Salmon's got to be in that lineup.
1994. 1994 he threw it.
Huh. That's the year I was born. That's a good year. All right. I need a pitcher, and I will take the most dominant pitcher of the 2000s. Won 3 or 4 straight. I think 4 straight Cy Youngs. Give me Randy Johnson on the bump. And I think there's a lot of different ways you can go here with the starting pitcher. So
Yeah.
And I really want to take Brian Roberts, but I don't think he's as good as Jeff Kent, who won a MVP in the year 2000. Everyone who has ever been on Jeff Kent's team hated him, but great baseball player.
Hated him.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Jeff Kent at second
Also,
and Randy Johnson.
I remember that. MVP. I feel like everybody was pissed about that.
Yeah. Because Barry Bonds hit like 60 homers right behind him in the lineup. And then won 4 straight after. He was doing fine. 7 MVPs, not in the Hall of Fame.
All right. I'm going to go with Mr. Miguel Tejada at shortstop.
Miggy, let's go. I think I thought he was going to go earlier. Brooks took Jeter over him, and I gave him a little bit of shit. Jeter never won an MVP. Miguel Tejada did, I believe. Did Jeter win an MVP? Maybe it was in the 90s.
No,
did he?
I don't think Jeter did.
Jeter never won an MVP.
Nope. Yeah, that's a great pick. Miguel Tejada was a stud. I think his first season with the Orioles, he had like 160 RBIs or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Pretty crazy. Good pick, Brian. Brooks, you get 2 in a row. You need 1 outfielder, pitchers, and a manager.
1 outfielder, and I probably could sub DH or first or third.
You could use some outfield defense. Just letting you know.
Hey, shut
out of here.
You won't take Maglio.
I like it.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
All right. Who do I have at third currently? Mark Teixeira?
Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera.
You can put him in the outfield. He played outfield.
Which is stunning to think, by the way.
Yeah, so did Pujols. Pujols played left field for like 2 years. He was a skinny left fielder.
And who's my DH? Did you put Tommy at DH for me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, put Miggy in the outfield and put Scott Rowland at third for me.
Yeah. Scott Rowland's a weird one because he's kind of in between eras. He's like 95 to 05 is like his prime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Hall of Famer, that's a great pick at third.
And man, I mean, I'm starting pitcher. I'm gonna go Pedro again, man.
I like it. Yeah, I think it's hard to pass up Pedro.
It is.
I got him 2 weeks in a row. I mean,
just so awesome and so much fun to watch.
Yeah. I need a shortstop.
No, you don't. You're good. You took Tejada.
No, you're right. I took Tejada.
You need a DH, a starting pitcher, and a manager.
All right, starting pitcher. All right, I'm torn between 2 lefties, but I'm going to go with one that had a stellar couple years. Give me Mr. Johan Santana.
Should have won
He's
three
one
straight
of my
Cy
favorite.
Youngs.
One of my
Should have
favorites.
won 3 straight Cy Youngs. I've said it multiple times on this pod. Bartolo Colon stole that Cy Young in the middle of the 2 years with his 20-win season and like a 3.5 ERA when Johan threw like a 2.6 in more innings, more strikeouts, but didn't have as many wins. Yeah, I think that's a great pick, Johan. So I'm back to back.
From outer space.
I'm back in the New York groove. There is a lot of guys I could take here.
Cali.
I'm thinking that this is too late in his career to take the big hurt, so I don't think he's going to be my DH. I really want to take Maglio because I've unfortunately stolen his look on accident.
I didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to talk about all the time you wasted doing.
So we got Fat Perez and we got Dusty Ordonez.
Dusty Ordonez.
Nobody's taken Reds Griffey, by the way. I'm thinking about it.
You have fun with that.
Yeah. His quads aren't intact for a lot of that.
Do you have a DL spot?
Hamstrings are a little rough.
I'm good, actually. Give me the 1-1 DH. Give me Large Poppy. Give me David Ortiz at my
cool.
DH. Yeah,
that's cool.
I think that's a no-brainer. I completely forgot about him, and also another lefty bat in the lineup, Brian.
Shut the fuck
up. And for my coach, am I going to go coach or reliever here?
I still need a reliever, don't I?
Give me reliever, and I'm going to take K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez.
Oh, K-Rod.
Former Oriole great, K-Rod.
All right, so there's a ton of great hitters still left, so I'm actually going to take the manager.
Okay.
And I'm going to go I know this is crazy. I'm going to go Mike Scioscia.
Mike Scioscia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. The only thing I remember about him is when Felix PA hit the cycle, he was so mad.
He was pissed.
I respect the hell out of that, actually.
Yeah. All right, Brooks, you get two.
So I need a reliever
reliever
and a manager, right?
Reliever, manager, and that'll round out your team.
Well, manager, I'm going Terry Francona for sure.
Yeah, Tito, I like it.
Reliever. Man. I've got so many that come to mind. I just need to look up some stats real quick.
There are three that are like they're no brainers.
Am I
They're
forgetting?
still on the board.
I mean, there's two Hall of Famers on the board and a Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like it. Eric Gagne.
Oh, he's going with the old Vulcan changeup. Eric Gagne.
Yeah, Vulcan change.
I was also I can't say it yet, but
okay. Well, you can because your draft is done. Brooks' team is done. Brian, you need a DH and I need a coach, and our drafts will be done.
Yeah. So my DH, a lot of good hitters still left on the board here. I got to go Ryan Howard.
The big piece. I didn't know if he was going to get drafted. I said it before the draft or before the episode. I wasn't sure if the big piece was going to go. That guy had a 4-year stretch where he hit like 250 homers.
Yeah, I mean, he was like there was 50 to 55 home runs consistently.
Yeah,
and
not a long career, but definitely a great pickup on your team.
There's a name I'm looking at that I would have taken over him that I forgot about. But I'll wait, obviously.
My last pick is my manager, and I need somebody that's going to be real fiery. So I'm going to take Ozzie Guillen as my skipper. Ozzie Guillen, who was traded at some point as a manager, which I love.
To where? Cuba?
I don't know. I could have taken
wanted him back.
I could have taken Torrey. I could have taken Bobby Cox. I could have taken Bruce Bochy, but I took fucking Ozzie Guillen, and I don't care.
You got traded for Yasiel Puig out of Cuba.
This is
man, Nelson.
I don't know
Cruz,
when
that's
Nelson.
Too late. I think that's 2010s.
I don't know when Nelly came in, but
I know in the 2011 World Series, he was on the Rangers still. So most of his career, I would say, is after 2010.
Yeah, because to Laura's point, I actually wrote him down for my DH, and then I looked at his numbers, and like he just gets hot from like 2012 on.
Yeah. So he stayed hot for so long too.
Yeah.
Like he was just consistent as hell.
I'm now going to go through the teams that we have constructed, and then we are going to go through our honorable mentions. My team is Pudge behind the dish, Todd Helton at first, Jeff Kent at second, Alex Rodriguez at short, Chipper Jones at third, Manny Ramirez, Carlos.
That's not right.
There's Nelson Cruz. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie since global warming. My outfield is Manny Ramirez, Carlos Beltran, and Jim Edmonds. My DH is Large Papi, Big Papi David Ortiz. On the mound is the big unit Randy Johnson, and K-Rod is closing. Ozzie Guillen is the skipper.
05.
Mm-hmm.
Nelly Cruz 05 with Milwaukee.
Brooks' team features quite a bit of Yankees. Jorge Posada, Mark Teixeira, Chase Utley, Derek Jeter, the captain, Scott Rowland, and in his outfield, his defense is going to be real bad, but it's okay. Barry Bonds, Miguel Cabrera, and the big cat, Lance Berkman. Jim Thome is going to be the DH. Pedro and Eric Gagne are going to round out the rotation.
We don't need defense. We're K-ing everybody. We don't need
Terry
defense.
Francona with his boat seat in the dugout is going to be managing. Brian took Brian McCann as his catcher. He also took Albert.
That's a wild pick. That's a
Alfonso Soriano, Miguel Tejada, Adrian Beltre, Vlad Guerrero, Andrew Jones, Ichiro Suzuki. Definitely the best outfield of the three of us, I would say. And Ryan Howard on the mound. He's got Johan Santana and Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time by a country mile, is his relief pitcher. And he's got Mike Scioscia, former catcher in his own right, as the manager.
I want smarts. Who has the craziest pick? Is it my Brian McCann or is it fucking Ozzie Guillen?
You could have went with Tony La Russa.
I took Ozzie Guillen, dude. He won a World Series.
I just don't like
Who's the best player that we didn't take? You guys know?
Technically, from what I'm looking at, Todd Helton probably.
No, Todd Helton. He's my starting first baseman.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say Michael
Jason
Young.
Giambi.
Michael Young is a great answer.
No, he's
Michael Young. If we had a utility answer, Michael Young would be number one.
Mike Cameron.
Wow.
Brian Giles actually has some.
Giles is on my list. Torrey Hunter's
first team. We're missing two first team all four guys. Did not go. Brian Giles, and my man, the father of our leadoff hitter today, Mr. Matt Holliday.
Dude, I honestly thought about Matt Holliday, but he started in like 04, and it's a little bit late.
You guys are gonna
Frank
like
Thomas
this name.
didn't go.
You guys are gonna like this name I'm about to bring up that we forgot.
What's that?
Carlos Delgado.
Carlos Delgado was this close to taking him as my DH before I saw David Ortiz. I was going to take Carlos Delgado.
I think we know my history with Delgado, so I was out on the Delgado train.
Fair enough.
Didn't think that would get brought up, but yeah. Melvin Mora. Melvin Mora was one that Dusty.
Yeah, I called dibs on Melvin Mora. Bruce Chen this morning.
Guess who has the same WAR as Melvin Mora?
Who's that?
Brian Roberts.
Brian Roberts was on my second baseman list. Also, no Craig Biggio, by the way. Somebody should have taken Craig Biggio, probably.
Dusty, you're wearing a Phillip Rivers jersey, and he has enough kids to run an offensive set in his living room. You should have taken Melvin Mora, who can field his own team.
I should have taken Maglio and paired him with his manager, Ozzie Guillen.
Melvin Mora, I think, has 9 kids.
Eric
so he
Chavez
can have his squad around the diamond.
Eric Chavez
has a better WAR than David Wright, Pudge, Grady Sizemore, Joe Mauer. He's got a better WAR than all David Ortiz, Torrey Hunter. Like, wow,
WAR doesn't like DHs though.
No, they don't. You're right.
Yeah.
Torrey Hunter though, Maglio Ordonez.
Torrey Hunter's great. Nobody took Gary Sheffield. He's always lost in the shuffle. That guy hit so many homers.
Carl Crawford,
Johnny Damon. Carl Crawford's a great answer. I know people think of Johnny Damon as like the later in the career Yankees, but that guy on Kansas City and Oakland and the Red Sox was an unbelievable
Jason
player.
Giambi.
Jason Giambi.
Nobody took Nomar. Mia Hamm's husband, Nomar Garcia-Parra, undrafted.
He didn't do much after.
I got a couple shortstops that we completely whiffed on. One, it was just a funny name to write down. Rafael Furcal. I forgot about
I love him. I love him. Switch hitter, Cardinals, Dodgers, big fan.
Looked like a little mouse out there, just kind of
so fast, 99 speed and MVP baseball 04.
And then
he also threw he threw like 98 across the diamond too.
Yes, he did. He had a fucking heat piece. And then the one I wouldn't take because he was so fucking lazy was Hanley Ramirez. You remember him?
Yeah.
He used to dog out pop-ups. Like while he was in the field, he would
guy,
dog out pop-ups.
Didn't play a lot of
defense. 08 though, right? He had to be like 08 when he came in the league.
I think he's in 08. I think he's really good. So I think he's probably started in mid 2000s if I had to guess. Some other names we didn't talk about. Jason Varitek behind the dish, super underrated. Mike Piazza a little bit later in his career. Joe Mauer a little early in his career. Mike Lowell at third base. I thought about him.
Ooh,
yeah.
Aramis Ramirez.
Oh, Aramis Ramirez and Maglio those two guys. Him and Maglio are two guys that I love.
Somebody took Manny, right? You took Manny.
I took Manny. I took Manny. Yeah, he's in left field.
Carl Crawford and BJ Upton.
BJ Upton, Jesus, that's got to be 2010s, right?
No, BJ. I think Justin. BJ. Yeah, no. I think BJ's I think BJ was 08 because I played against BJ when he was on the Dirt Bags, I believe.
Jimmy Rollins, no love. Jose Reyes, no love. Omar Vizquel, no love.
Edgar Renteria.
Edgar Renteria, multiple time World Series champion and World Series MVP. By the way,
I randomly wrote down Ray Durham. I don't know.
Ray Durham, switch hitting second base
with
the Giants and the White Sox.
Huge knob. Not talking about his, you know what either. Huge knob of his bat.
Yeah.
Not talking about his, you know what.
Who's the best pitcher of the 2000s that we didn't take? My number 3 overall pitcher of the 2000s was Roy Halladay. Nobody took him.
That's a great call.
I kind of based my whole pitching style off of Roy Halladay. Like a little bit, I mixed Roy Halladay and Greg Maddux together a little bit, like kind of how just because I didn't throw 95 miles an hour. So
you also weren't built like him.
I also wasn't 6'5". So.
Yeah.
When we were in East Cobb County, we coached against him, and he is one of the largest men I've been around that played baseball.
Roy Halladay, really?
Broad.
Massive.
He was coaching his son's Florida team.
Another Roy in our starting rotation that we didn't take, Roy Oswalt. People forget about him. Guy was a stud. Guy was consistent, and he was only like 5'10". Yeah, consistent as shit for the Astros. Went to the Phillies at the end of his career. Barry Zito got no love. CC Sabathia, Tim Lincecum.
Him and Clemens together were
Billy Wagner and Joe Nathan. I wrote down Joe Nathan.
So did I.
Ooh.
I also wrote down Trevor Hoffman and Jason Isringhausen.
Jason Isringhausen.
And Jonathan Papelbon.
I could never take him. He's a fucking asshole.
I hate that guy. I hate him.
I was thinking about taking him, but then you kind of reminded me of Gagne, and I'm like, all right, I can't take he's the last Cy Young reliever and probably going to be the last Cy Young reliever of all time. Shit, what was I going off? Oh, Joe Nathan. Joe Nathan has some kind of a Maryland connection. And I don't know what it is because I used to see him throwing bullpens during the wintertime.
Well,
when I was working out, either like I saw him down in Crofton, I saw him at Bat Academy. I saw him in a couple different places, and I don't know if it was because there's a catcher here. Like obviously he never played here. He's not from here, I don't think. Like Houston. Unless his wife is from here or something. But like
from
he
Houston,
was
but he graduated from high school in New York.
But I saw him multiple times throwing bullpens in the wintertime in Maryland during the off season, and I never understood why.
That dude was a stud. He was really good.
Talk about big dude. That dude was like 6'8", wasn't he?
Yeah. AJ Pierzynski, forgot about that guy. Him and Ozzie Guillen would go together really well.
He's really turned his image around by being in the media space because I hated him before.
Nobody took David Justice. Nobody took Jermaine Dye. Nobody took Paul Konerko. By the way, Paul Konerko, one of the most consistent guys of the 2000s. Paul Konerko.
I traded Ichiro Suzuki in his rookie year for Paul Konerko, my fantasy baseball
league. Did you really?
That worked out well.
Didn't Ichiro win MVP in his rookie year?
Yeah.
The RBI Samurai?
The RBI Samurai Ichiro Suzuki. God, we had this.
It was like, oh, this guy's a rookie and he's got no chance of being good. Oh, he just won fucking rookie of the year and MVP.
Yeah. MVP won, rookie of the year won, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, All-Star game. Every single thing you could do right in a season, he did it. 242 hits and 56 stolen bases in his first year, hitting 350.
That good?
I thought I got a good deal.
Ichiro from 2001 to 2010 never had a season where he had less than 200 hits, by the way. Never had one season where he had less than 200 hits.
And he played till he was like 42.
God, dude. What an absolute animal,
which is nuts.
Guy. And speaking of guys with hoses in the outfield, Ichiro has one of the best arms I've ever seen. Him and Yoenis Cespedes and Vlad Guerrero. Mm-hmm. Absolute and Jeff Francoeur, a guy we forgot on this list. Jeff Francoeur, hose.
People forget about Vlad's arm.
Yeah,
Vlad had a fucking missile.
Cannon. Yeah,
Cannon. Howitzer.
Yeah.
That's our draft. Yay.
Yeah, that's our draft. We'll put them up on the Instagram and on the Twitter, and you guys can debate. If we pick the right guys, if we pick the wrong guys. No Brett Boone love. He had probably the best season of any second baseman in the 2000s.
Yeah, he had like a
short-lived.
He kind of had a 3-year good,
good
seasons.
Well, I mean,
maybe.
The needle, but another one seed in the first team all forearms league. The Brett Booner. I mean, it looked like he was actually like making sawdust when he would come up to bat.
Who's the DH on first team all forearms? Is it Luke Scott?
Maybe.
Or Jay Gibbons.
And you kind of got the Luke Scott look when he went hunting deer. He's in a tree.
You know who else got no love in this draft was former 4-home run in one game hitter Sean Green. Guy a lot of people forget about, but that guy was awesome. Yeah. Dodgers, Blue Jays.
I did forget.
Really wanted to get Maglio on the team, but just couldn't make it happen. Sorry, Maglio. You're going to be my pinch hitter. Brooks is going to have Matt Stairs as his pinch hitter.
Stairs.
Probably
Matt Stairs
would actually
best pinch hitter ever.
One of the
and one of the best comments of all time in a dugout where he's like mic'd up and he's like, "Yeah, I was hammering him in the ass" or something like that. I can't remember the context of the conversation, but he just has the comment that I was going to hammer him in the ass, and it was like, what?
The Orioles are in the second inning, by the way. It is 0-0. There is one out in the top of the second.
Cool.
Just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up there.
If it's okay with you guys, I'm going to get away from baseball real quick. I just saw I know we're not a big tennis thing, but Wimbledon's always a big deal. It's Super Bowl tennis.
Mm-hmm.
13-seeded Amanda Anisimov. Doesn't sound like an American name. Just beat the number 1 seed to go to the final.
Sabalenka. Yeah. Wow. Good for her. Sabalenka had a scare, I think, last time she played too. There was whoever played her took her to the last set.
This would be the first American to win, I believe. Well, no, because Coco Gauff just won. But
yeah. It looks also like Djokovic is going to be in the semis for like probably the 400th time.
The 15th time, and he's playing Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, and who should have lost the other day, but got lucky because the guy who was playing him had to leave with an injury up 2 sets on him.
He ripped his pectoral or something.
Yeah, it was bad. He was like holding his arm. He was crying. It sucked.
The guy hit 148 mile an hour serve, and it was like, holy shit! How do you return that?
You don't. You just don't. And around the world sports news, not baseball reference. Devin Booker signed a 2-year, $145 million extension with the Phoenix Suns. Good for him, 72.5 a year. That's a lot of money. Good for him for doing that. Harris English, who is my auto top 20 bet, who I absolutely love to gamble on. Harris English always comes in 17th place. His caddy has been denied a visa and will not be with him for the Scottish Open or the Open Championship. He's had this caddy for 8 years. That sucks for him. He's really trying to make the Ryder Cup team, and he won't have his caddy for two of the biggest tournaments left on the schedule. That stinks for him.
Why was he denied a visa?
Because apparently in 2006, he did some cocaine dealing. And apparently he's not allowed out of the country for that reason. But anyway,
that's almost 20 years later.
Him and Tim the Toolman Taylor. They were
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
They were running coke all over this world.
Fun fact about Tim Allen: his last name is Dick. Yeah. Allen is his middle name. Timothy Allen Dick. How's that for Santa Claus? Anyway.
Also, you have the American Century going on. The celebrity-based golf tournament. I think John Smoltz, Tony Romo, and Steph Curry are like 3 of the top 5 favorites to win.
TJ Oshie's usually pretty high up, I think.
Is he playing in it? Given his injury stuff?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
Well, he's there. I've seen his Instagram stories. He's at least there. I don't know if he's playing.
Okay. And then one of the 3 of the least favorites to win. 3 of the bottom people are obviously Charles Barkley, Larry the Cable Guy. Someone said, shouldn't Larry the Cable Guy think of changing his name now to like Lawrence the Streamer?
Stop it. Lawrence the Netflix guy. Cable Guy. That's the only thing I can think of. Around the MLB, the Yankees have DFA'd DJ LeMahieu. How crazy is this? Owed $22 million, and he has been DFA'd by the Yankees. 2-time batting champion with Colorado. Had a really good start to his career in New York. But unfortunately for him, it has come to an end. It seems like he is past his prime. But, good for DJ LeMahieu. Had a really good career. Hall of pretty good.
$22 million through 2026. And over the past month, he's been batting like 3 something. He's been hitting pretty well as of recently. But
yeah.
I can't imagine he makes it through waivers, but maybe he will. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he will.
We
got another
Yacht Rock Cap Day.
It's what?
Jesus. Yacht Rock Cap Day at the Yard.
Oh, the 6:30 game.
That's why Drew's going.
Without a doubt.
Lots of celebs there. I guess you're talking about this golf tournament. The Miz, Grant Hill, Aaron Rodgers, and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah. They're always there.
The Miz is one of those guys in the bottom 5.
He stinks. But apparently he's really serious about it, but he stinks.
He stinks.
That's
so
not good.
I was watching Dan Patrick's show is there, and they're on the driving range, right side of the driving range, and they're not far. Like, so from where those guys are like hitting on the range, they might be about 30 or 40 yards up. So dudes, because they're not great golfers, so there are dudes like Dan Patrick will be like interviewing somebody, and they have this like plexiglass barrier that only goes up to like their heads, like when they're sitting down. And like Dan Patrick will be interviewing, I think he was interviewing like Grant Hill, and a golf ball just like ricochets off like right behind Grant Hill. Would have fucking dotted him right in the back.
Jesus Christ!
You need to maybe move that either closer or way down the driving range.
I'd like to go to that one year. That'd be fun. Apparently, that's like a big party.
Oh yeah. Isn't McAfee there?
I'm just staring.
He has been the last couple of years. I don't think he is there this year though.
I mean,
just staring at our lineups and just wondering who's playing center field for Brooks.
Who Who are my outfielders again?
You got Lance Berkman, Barry Bonds, and Miguel Cabrera. I guess Barry Bonds is playing outfield, but this is steroid fat Barry Bonds. This is not young Pirates Gold Glove Barry Bonds.
I need 2000 Barry Bonds.
Yeah. And you can't. You got no positional versatility because Jim Tomei is definitely not sitting in the outfield playing doing that.
Yeah.
But Terry Francona, he's got these guys. He'll be fine.
He'll figure it out.
I was listening to Dan Patrick.
We don't need
on
defense when Pedro's on the mound and Gagne's closing the game.
We
don't need defense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but he had some good defenses behind him, minus Nomar at short, who was a complete liability towards the end of his Boston stint. But Pokey Reese, Mark Bellhorn, Bill Miller, they're pretty good defense guys. Trot Nixon. You like Mark Bellhorn?
Yeah, but I remember Bill Miller, but Miller was spelled really weird. It had like a U and an E in it.
Yeah, it looked like Mueller, but he won a batting title. That's the only reason I know his name.
I still can't believe he won a batting title.
It's crazy. He was like the 8th best guy on the team.
Speaking of part of my take, guys.
Dan Patrick was on. And by the way, I wanted to ask you, sorry, go ahead with whatever you're going to say, but I wanted to ask you. So on part of my take, they were talking to Dan Patrick about his it's his last contract that he's ever gonna sign, and he said he didn't want to go on the retirement tour, but he said he has announced that this is the last contract. So he's got 2.5 years left to do the Dan Patrick show, and then he's riding into the sunset. He said he wants to move to Italy, learn the language. His wife is Italian. It was really cool. Listen, if you guys haven't listened to that, turn on PNC and listen to that interview.
That's awesome. I will listen to it because those guys were on his show yesterday. And they mentioned, or they announced they're going to make a book. Or they're going to write a book. We don't know how to read books, but we're going to write one. And he said they're going to have a bunch of people kind of do a chapter. And Dan Patrick goes, "What does a chapter consist of?" They're like, "It could be one page." They go, "We want a chapter where it's just pictures."
Yeah, you have to.
That.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I love Dan Patrick, man.
But anyway, my question to Brian is: in 2.5 years, when Dan Patrick's contract is up, what are you going to do every day?
I don't know, man. Maybe I move to Italy with him. I don't know.
Just to hear his voice.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Apparently, after Bob Barker left and before Drew Carey got the Price is Right job, they offered it to Dan Patrick, and he said no. They also offered him Alex Trebek's job when he was done at Jeopardy, and then that's why they started doing Sports Jeopardy. This guy could have been the host of so many game shows. He was offered Who Wants to Be a Millionaire before Regis Philbin,
and then he said no to that as well.
Yeah, crazy dude. I mean, I know his voice is so soothing though.
Yeah. What's Dan Patrick's real name? He's got
Daniel Pugh, P-U-G-H.
Daniel Pugh, or is it? Yeah.
Daniel Pugh, and he changed it to Dan Patrick.
Is Daniel Patrick Pugh? Is that what his
most
full name
likely?
is?
I would assume.
Yeah.
I watch it every day religiously. It's one of my favorite shows. It's because it doesn't just talk sports. They'll hit movies.
Yeah.
They hit music. Like they're always big on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They hit a little bit of everything. They used to have a segment called 5 Good Soccer Seconds, and it would be Paulie talking about soccer, and he'd be like, "Yeah, the United States men's team won." I
kind of
love
stopped
that. As a hater of soccer, I'm a big fan of
that. we hate soccer, and we hate when people do it around us.
I mean, when he had Will Ferrell on. And Will Ferrell, because they're like good friends. We had Will Ferrell on, and Will Ferrell was doing like the tour for Anchorman 2. He came in and he goes, "Do not address me as Will Ferrell. I am Ron Burgundy today." And the entire time he was Ron Burgundy, dressed up. He brought a Mickey's 40. He brought in donuts and a bottle of scotch.
A Mickey's 40. Dude, there was I stopped by the liquor store today before I came on the pod. Yeah. And got my champagne of beers.
That's awesome, by the way. Did you see it and you were like, I got to get it?
Yeah, basically. But so before that, I saw they had Mickey's in like aluminum like ballpark cans, and not a 40. I'm like, I didn't know that either. I was like,
were they like counters or were they like 12?
No, they were like those little short ballpark aluminum cans, like you see Coors Lights in. I guess they're not short, but they feel like it. Roger McNuggets.
Roger McNuggets killing it.
Yeah.
All right, we need a backstory on Roger. Where did this come
did he
from?
The day that Tucker passed away, my owner happened upon me in the walk-in where I was sobbing. Tucker is our dog, our childhood dog. And I was bartending when I found out that he had passed away, and I was in shambles for hours. And immediately I told the girl I was working with, I was like, hey, I'm going to be gone for like the next couple minutes. Are you going to be all right? She was like, yeah, take your time, do whatever. I'm in the walk-in cooler and just sitting there on a case of beer and just sobbing. And my owner comes into the walk and he's like, dude, what's going on? Are you okay? I told him everything that happened. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. His wife comes in an hour later with a care package for me. She's got gummy bears. She's got a card. A bereavement card. I can't think of the word.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
She's like a sympathy card. And she gave me this fucking nugget.
Where the fuck did you get that?
I don't know. I don't know where she got it. Wherever she got the card, I guess. But she saw it and she was just like,
to be fair, if I saw that nugget, I would have picked it up too.
Yeah, she was like, I thought it would cheer you up, and I was just like, dude, this is the best thing ever. So now it's it's gonna live forever on this podcast. But yeah, thank you to Chad and his wife, the owners of Cabanas, part owners of Cabanas, just the nicest people on the planet.
That's awesome.
And they literally told me, they were like, you can leave, you don't have to work, like we'll get it covered. And I was like, no, I got to stay here. Like I'm gonna go home and just sob in my room. I'd rather just be here and be around people, But anyway, that's why Roger McNugg's is in our household. So yeah, it's a good story.
You guys same colors, Tucker too, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, kind of works, kind of plays.
Yeah.
Also, 40. I you can still find the 40. Mickey's was like my least favorite 40. I would say.
Old English.
I was Old English as well.
I'm a Hurricane guy.
In Hurricane, yeah. And you could always get the you get Yingling 40s as well in Pennsylvania where I went to college.
No Colt 45 reference?
Colt 45s too, yeah.
Steel Reserve.
But Mickey, I would say
Steel Reserve sauce, dude.
I would say Mickey's was my least favorite though.
Schlitz. I know in Virginia, when I was in college in Virginia, they did have Coors Original 40s, which was pretty badass. And they might have been 32s.
The Banquet?
I love the Banquet beer.
Yeah, they were either 32s or 40s, but that was my go-to.
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
Don't, Laura.
Never.
Laura,
can I tell you guys something? I've never ever in my life had a Mad Dog 2020. Never tasted it. Don't know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is, but I've never had one.
Okay, now we know the penalty for Dusty.
That's fine.
All right. Home run draft.
I'll go buy a Mad Dog. I'm down to
home run draft is Mad Dog. You know what? I don't think I've seen a Mad Dog 2020 in Indiana.
Really?
Indiana?
In Indiana.
Indiana.
AC Slater's next to me. I wish I could pull him up with the camera turned off for whatever reason.
Yeah.
My buddy's here who looks like AC Slater. He was like, yeah, they're here. He grew up here. He's like, yeah, they're still here. So I'll find it if I lose, I'll find it.
This is as we always say, a right turn from the left-hand lane. AC Slater in Saved by the Bell was notorious for sitting on his chair backwards, right? Yeah. So in college, somebody used to go to the one of my fraternity brothers would go to the sorority houses and AC Slater their toilets. So he would go to the toilet and sit on it backwards and take it down.
Yeah, I mean,
you backwards.
You get a table. You can eat from the back of it.
Toilet. He would actually have like a little meal.
That's
you can eat at the same time. Some comedian had a bit about that, and I can't remember who it was.
Then maybe they got it. Maybe my buddies and my fraternity brothers got it from that. I'd never seen the bit.
Oh man. Yeah, we got so if you guys don't know, the Scottish Open is this week, the British Open is next week. Sorry, we're making another turn out of right field or left field or wherever we're turning from. Scottish Open is going on right now. They played most of the guys that finished their rounds. They're playing in Scotland, so the time difference is going to be a little bit weird for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. But next week they're playing at Royal Portrush. I think I mentioned this on the last pod, but the last time the Open Championship was held at Royal Portrush, Shane Lowry won that tournament. Shane Lowry been playing really, really good golf. So look for him next week. Guys I like this week, like I said, the first round is pretty much over at this point, but there's still some guys on the golf course. I like Wyndham Clark a lot. He plays well at this course. I like both of the Højgaard brothers. One of them had a good day. One of them had a really bad day. Just pick a Højgaard and go with it. Nicholas is the good one this week. Robert McIntyre. Yeah. Robert McIntyre is finished with his round. He's -2 for the day. He was 30-1 coming in. He won last year and came in second the year before. So he is obviously, God damn it. He's really good at this course.
Yeah, we are like 20-some right now.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah. It's like remember the literally tax at Lighthouse?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The L tax, dude. We used to call it the L tax.
I've stopped it. But that's one of the best.
Brian's L tax is one of the better things. Yeah. And I got
created.
Yeah. Tell this story and why you created this.
Sure. I was bartending at Lighthouse Tavern here in Canton, and these two girls come in. Never met them before in my life, and they're both sitting over in the corner, and it's a quiet bar at the time. And see Joe, and these two girls come in, and they're both like, young 20s or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, like I literally put on shoes last night, and literally it was the best day of my life. And then literally I took a breath, and then literally this guy walked in, and I walked over and I go, ladies, just do me a favor. Let's calm down on the literallys. Next time you say literally, you have to do a shot of Fireball. And she's like, we literally won't. And I was like, boom, here we go. Well, the train was off the tracks. And I mean, I swear to God, I remember Jay Harkness comes in and he goes, Raj, how the fuck do you go through 2 bottles of Fireball today? I was like, the literally tax. He said, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Never heard of the L tax?
It started catching on around the bar. People started hearing it and being like, holy shit. And I actually had a guy come in and he said, I never realized how much I said it until I went to Lighthouse that day. He goes, and I also never realized how much people said it on the radio because I guess he was a driver or something for work. And he goes, I hear it all the time on the radio now. He goes, I fucking hate you. But it played for a long time. I mean, I had old people doing it. I had adults doing it. You would hear people from down the bar. They would hear like some kid down here. And there'd be like somebody with an AARP card down the other end of the bar, and they would hear it be like, tax.
My wife was literally saying the other day that one of the first times she ever met Brian, we were in Lighthouse Tavern, and she can't drink Deep Eddie's Lemon anymore because Brian just kept. So here in Indiana, they don't fill up like your glass. They don't do like a 16-ounce like pint glass of a mixed drink. We like to call them Dundalk pours or Canton pours from when we're in our Canton pour in a Dundalk glass is what we used to say at Lighthouse Tavern. But she's like, I can't drink it anymore because I was so sick. She was like, I drank it so much there, and then she went to a concert because she was drinking it all the time at that point and got sick the one night. She's like, I can't. It's like one of those things where. The first time you get drunk off tequila and throw up and people can't drink tequila anymore or whatever.
I couldn't drink orange juice for like 10 years of my life because I went to Firefly one year and the only thing we had was vodka and orange juice, but we didn't have a cooler. So it was just sitting out the sun, baking, and it was just hot screwdrivers. And I didn't drink orange juice for quite a while after that. It was bad.
I remember Caitlin used to come into you and Caitlin would come into the bar when she was in town visiting Baltimore, and she would walk in and she's like, I'll take a baby lemon. And I'm like, no problem. The fact that you already said you want a small one means you're getting a big one.
It was either that or you'll give her a baby one, and then every time she took a sip, you fill it up to the top. That and my dad loves to say, like, give me a half crown of Coke.
Oh my God.
That shit ain't gonna fly, dude.
Yeah, you have 14 half Crown and Cokes, then you're having 7 Crown and Cokes, you idiot.
Right at it for love of the game. Chappie, a lot of little bottles equals big bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew just texted the group. I saw an Albert Bell jersey earlier at the Oriole game. He's at the Oriole game for reference. Saw an Albert Bell jersey earlier. Also just saw George Sherrill's jersey. Not sure which one I like more. Which one's better? Albert Bell jersey, George Sherrill jersey.
I'm going with Albert Bell.
I respect the Albert Bell because it's older.
99,
But George,
right?
somewhere
Is he
around
number
like
99?
oh
Wasn't Albert
not
Bell
off
number
my
99?
yeah.
Or am I thinking Bobby Bonilla?
no, you're right. Bonilla was like 38. He had a weird number with us, I think.
No, he's number 8. Oh, no, 88. And he
88.
couldn't wear
That's
8,
right.
obviously.
Yeah.
I-
Because he was
I
eight
caught
with
myself.
he was eight with the
It's number
Indians.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Where's
number
number
8
8?
with the Windians, but he couldn't wear number 8 for the Orioles because of a guy named
Obvious reasons.
Calvin. Yeah, a guy named Calvin.
Oh, speaking of jersey numbers, I've been watching the quarterback series, and by the way, I finished the whole thing. It's really good. I won't ruin anything for you guys.
I didn't
But
know it was
It's
out yet.
Is it on Netflix or ESPN Plus?
Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix. It came out on Tuesday, and I watched the whole thing over the course of Tuesday and yesterday because the Oriole game was canceled. I had nothing to watch.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm on St. Brown, or I'm on Ross St. Brown. His
the
girlfriend.
Sun God.
Yeah, his girlfriend. He goes to his girlfriend. He says, "Do me a favor, count each receiver that was taken in front of me, and that'll be my jersey number. How many receivers were taken in front of him?"
14.
So she comes back to him and says it was 14. So he goes to the Lions, says, "I'll take number 14." Well, come to find out, it was actually 16. And so, and the only problem he had now is he couldn't go back and change it because Jared Goff got traded there and took jersey number 6.
Yeah.
I love it.
And he goes, "I'm not mad at her." He goes, 16 looks better than Jared Goff anyway.
I always love when
Yeah, 16's not great.
athletes can do that thing where like Brady did it. He can name all the quarterbacks that went in front of him in that draft because it like motivated him. I love that mindset in an athlete, and I love Amon-Ra. If you listen to him talk about it, he's like he can go through and name every single receiver that was drafted in front of him. He was like, "I'm better than that motherfucker. I'm better than that motherfucker. I'm better than that motherfucker." I always love it when athletes do that. I was watching somebody was interviewing Tracy McGrady the other day, and he was like, the question was, "Hey, you went 9th in the NBA draft. Do you know the 8 guys that went in front of you?" And he was just like, "No." And then he went through and he named all 8 guys, and they were just like, "You fucking knew those guys. Like, you definitely were like trying to be better than those guys." And that's like the mentality I love in an athlete.
Gotta have
I mean, that's the dog in you, right?
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Yeah. T-Mac, underrated athlete.
That's what number 37 in this year's draft is going to say.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Number 37. When he's the 4th pick by the Orioles.
I got to roll. Tell Randy I said hello.
Finishing up anyway.
Yeah, I tell Randy I said hello. I'm sure he can. We might be on the TV there in Brooks's house. I'm not even sure, but but
he's waving. He's waving, but his camera ran out of battery. I'm trying to turn it on.
I thought he was over there just doing.
Oh man,
I thought he was over there getting the guns bigger.
Shotgun.
I'll do one more with you.
We got time.
I don't know if I have time, but I have to work at 5, and I also have to be hungover for a couple hours. So,
well, I think I can zoom.
Be hungover.
I think I can zoom this camera out a little bit and get Randy and I both in here. And
this is all I had in the fridge from White Claws, or I would be drinking natural lattes.
If you guys didn't know, this is the optimal tool for shotgunning. We have discovered this long time ago. But just wanted to let you guys know, if you're shotgunning beers with a key, that's okay to do on the golf course if you don't have a butter knife around. But if you got a butter knife around, it's just perfect. It's so good.
The most recent golf outing I went to, they gave out a shotgun tool.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of unique. I thought it was pretty cool.
I feel like
is that the one that you put it in? Is that the one that you put it in, then you like hit the tee shot, and then you know what I'm talking about? Is that
the St. Gerard tournament every year? They have that. You put the shotgun tool in. It's like a tee, and you put it in. You hit the golf ball, and then you have to shotgun the beer, and that's like it's like a long drive hole.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but no, this one, it almost looked like a regular bottle opener, but it had like an extra metal piece that went around that would actually go in and kind of bend the inside of the can down so you wouldn't cut your
mouth. Still 0-0, by the way. Top of the 4th. Looks like 2 outs for the Mortician, who's dealing again. We need to get some runs on the board. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to Phil Rivers.
Hold on.
Cheers to Phil Rivers. Rogers, who's your favorite Charger of all time?
Oh, LT is going to be up there, my man. But Lance Allworth, I never got to see him play, but I'll go LT. I loved LT.
Brooks,
Um,
Sean Merriman, he hits hurt.
yeah, but I mean LT.
Lights out. Sean Merriman tried to make it in the WWE, but didn't work out for him.
I mean, my favorite Chargers moment of all time is watching it with Glenn, without a doubt. I mean, we were all together watching it with Glenn and Vicky and Caitlin and Baby Blues.
San Diego Superchargers. My dad screamed that all the time.
LT, that's me.
Hell yeah. I love LaDainian Tomlinson. Here's AC Slater himself. Look at him go.
What's up?
Hell yeah. Cheers, guys. Let's shotgun this beer.
Cheers, boys.
I can't shotgun glass.
Well, me neither.
Champagne and beers. How's it taste?
It tastes better with it. It tastes better with a little amaretto.
Yeah, Dr. Peppers.
But I did several of those last night.
See you, boy. See you, boys.
See you guys. Be good.
See you, Darren Erstad.
Don't get.
Oh man, we need to get David Eckstein in here. Yeah, we're wrapping up, guys. Maybe. Or you want to take?
Are we?
You want to take call-ins? I need to stop drinking. I have to work later. I have to operate a bicycle.
You're good. I need to figure out how to get this echo out of here.
Yeah, I don't like it. Maybe can you mute me? That was
excuse me.
Nuts. I need to use this mic.
That's the mic.
Welcome Randy to the show. This is our resident AC Slater impersonator. Yeah.
Impersonator.
Are you wearing a Gary Williams hat?
Hell yeah, he is.
Hell yeah. You know what's really funny?
See if that's working out, Randy.
One of the first interviews we did on this channel, like a year and a half ago, we did an interview with a guy named Will. I can't remember his last name, but he's friends with he's friends with Kyle, Brooks' friend Kyle, and he works for the Golf Channel. And when he came on the podcast, he thought we were a Golf Channel, and he thought our Gary Williams was referencing. There's a guy on the Golf Channel named Gary Williams, and funnily enough, a girl that I work with, like 3 days ago, she was like, "I had the Golf Channel on today, and I saw there was a guy named Gary Williams. Is that who you named your podcast after?" And I said, "No, yes. We literally have a signed. We have a signed basketball on the bar at Green Turtle by Gary Williams, who was the coach of the 2002.
I was gonna say,
Terrapins.
I thought I had Gary. I thought I had Gary Williams' signature up here somewhere behind Randy, but I do not.
You got the fridge. I know that. You got the
fridge is up there. He's looking over us.
Yeah,
I got Steve Blake. I got Steve Blake. We got 2 Juan Dixons up there, but no Gary. I could have swore we had Gary. Well, fuck. Anyway, he needs a hat and he needs to sign it and send it back.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
That would be epic if Gary Williams, or he could just steal my lawn furniture. That would be great. I would let him.
You know what?
He could have it.
Free chair.
I'll help you carry it.
As long as we get a picture of him carrying it, and that could be like our new logo, like Jerry West.
Yeah,
he's the logo.
He's the logo. He's now the logo.
Just a silhouette.
And no cease and desist. I don't want any cease and desist. You can be the logo.
A silhouette of Gary Williams, just sweat dripping off of him. That's what it would be. Yeah. Sweat, Gary, dude. Sweat, baby.
Man, I got so many ideas running through my head now.
Brooks, you want to put the link in or I can do it actually. We're gonna put the link in the chat. We're gonna open it up to some call-ins for the end of this pod. Once again, thank you guys for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Sorry, I've had several natural lights, and they are shampoo affecting with last night's natural lights. And it's really working together, guys.
It's doing what we would hope. You know what? We need to get hold on. Yeah, send that over there. Might have some guests joining as well.
Yeah, happy Thursday to y'all. I think the O's game is still 0-0. The leaders of the golf
Oh,
tournament
look
are
at these mustard.
-6 right now.
Look at these mustard shirts in the game right now.
A name I forgot to mention, by the way, earlier when I was telling you guys about my golf bets this week. Tom Kim, whenever they go overseas, Tom Kim plays really well. He doesn't hit the ball very far, but it doesn't matter overseas. When they play in Scotland and England and they play these courses overseas, the ground's really hard, so the ball runs a lot. So it doesn't matter how hard you hit it. Tom Kim always plays really, really well in these tournaments. So he's T14 right now, -3 through 13. If you can get a bet in on him for a top 20 with a good number, I don't know what it looks like right now, but that might be a good wager to make. Just letting you guys know.
Put it in, Randy.
I'll lock it in. FanDuel.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in, Randy? You usually bet some of these tournaments.
I usually bet the majors. I don't have anything on these tournaments right now, but I'm always playing something in the majors, first round, to win, all that stuff. But
yeah.
Randy's our resident Redskins. Our
Redskins.
Our resident Cubs, Raiders, Ohio State, and what else?
You guys don't like NBA, but Lakers.
Lakers here.
I like the NBA. Brooks doesn't. What's your thoughts on DeAndre Ayton?
I just don't follow it.
I'm 50-50 on that. I just don't know.
All of his teammates from his previous two teams hate him. So that tells you all you need to know about the guy, right? But
I don't feel good about this
pick,
offseason activity for the Lakers.
Yeah. Well,
Westy.
Look,
we like that, Westy.
LeBron, probably the second best player that's ever touched a basketball, does love to be in the media and in the front office a lot. Underrated thing of LeBron's career is that he's completely tanked the organizations that he has left and left them in waste after he has left them. Once again, one of the best players that's ever graced the basketball court, but he has leveraged that a lot of times not for the betterment of his franchises moving forward. And that's a little bit of a bias I have against LeBron James. But anyway,
I was never a LeBron fan. He just, when he came to the Lakers, I was like, okay, I guess now I have to be. Yeah. But I never really gave him any, I was never really a fan of him. And I said, you have to win a championship. Just win a championship, then I will, I guess, accept you in my fan base. Yeah. And when they did in the bubble, I mean, I count it. A lot of people don't, but
yeah, he won, right?
He won a championship.
Yeah. I think a lot of people,
not his fault.
I think a lot of Lakers fans, like as a Laker fan, do you think Laker fans in general like embrace LeBron? Obviously, they didn't embrace him like they embraced Kobe and Shaq and those guys. But do you think that as a Laker fan, do you think of LeBron as a Laker, or do you think of him just the wealth of career that he had before the Lakers?
Since he won a championship, he will be considered a Laker. But as a lifelong Lakers fan, I never really considered him a Laker.
Yeah,
just because I'm expecting him to leave again.
Yeah,
like something's going to go down this offseason. I don't think he's going to be a Laker come October.
Really? See, I disagree with that. I think he opts. If he didn't opt in, I would think differently. I still think you have one of the best 5 teams in the West.
Why
the problem is the West is so stacked.
Why wouldn't he take the guaranteed money?
He wants to win the ring. He's going to go somewhere else.
Because he could opt out and get $50 million from anybody. I mean, Devin Booker just got a $140 million extension for
force his way out no matter what, though. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but opt out.
Or just take the guaranteed money and then just force him to.
He's made $1 billion playing basketball. Dude, his son signed a guaranteed contract with the Lakers. He's fine. He's going to be all right.
But if he wants to play,
paying him.
If he wants to play with his son, though, then he has to opt in because he's not going to opt out and then be able to play with his son if he wants to. If he decides he wants to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that made the most sense, right? If he wants to go, why would he want to go somewhere else though? I feel like the whole reason why he's still hanging around,
right?
Yeah,
if you want to win a championship, and I'm not,
do you think he does though?
Well, I'm not trying to pop your balloon here, Randy, but I think there's probably 4 teams in the West that are better than the Lakers going into this next season.
Agree with you.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm not a delusional fan.
Yeah, if I'm LeBron and I'm 40 years old and I'm still averaging 27, 7, and 7, I'm probably like, hey, maybe I'll go over to, the Spurs or something. So, somebody has a wealth of young talent and go play for them for a little bit. Maybe go over to the Mavericks where his counterpart Anthony Davis just went.
That would
and
be
go
hilarious.
hang out with Kyrie a little bit. Maybe go hang out with Cooper Flagg. That would be fun.
Let's bring in the Crimson.
The Crimson and the Clover. Look at him. It's Dr. Foy.
Gentlemen,
up,
the doctor.
how are you doing?
Come on, how can I get him on the big screen? I don't know which one.
This.
I'm trying to get him on the big screen. There we go, Doctor.
What's up? How you doing?
How are you
good,
doing,
man?
Just watching Jordan Weisberg run into outs on the base paths, living the dream.
What I miss? I think I might be behind you.
Yeah.
He had a leadoff single, and then
Laureano
had a bloop single, and he tried to stretch it to third and got chucked to third from the right fielder.
Yeah,
center fielder, actually.
Was it Nimmo? Is Nimmo playing center?
Yeah, I think it was Nimmo.
Yeah.
What are you guys up to?
Sense.
We're podcasting.
We're casting pods.
It's good.
We're casting pods.
We did our
all. You have a drink yet or no?
We did our all-time 2000s draft.
Yeah.
Not yet, but I'll probably crack one soon.
I feel like this is more of a can't or won't situation, and if you're going to tell me that you can't, then I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, I can.
Sean, I'm going to ask you a question. We did our 2000s, all 2000s baseball lineup. Last week we did 90s. This week we did 2000s. Next week we're going to do 2010s. Brooks's outfield is as follows: Barry Bonds, Miguel Cabrera, Lance Berkman. Who's playing center?
We're not playing
Miguel
defense.
Cabrera?
Yeah, he's playing outfield, baby.
I guess Bonds is playing center. I mean, he's got a bunch of gold gloves.
Yeah,
I need
specifically Giants Barry Bonds.
Whoa. Year 2000 Bonds is still a good defensive player. He's still skinny at that point.
Who was the third? It was Cabrera, Bonds, and who was the other one?
Lance Berkman.
Jesus.
Hey, we did not. No, hold on. Well, regardless, nobody's hitting the ball to the outfield anyway off Pedro and Gagne.
True.
So
that's true. That's fact.
First of all, and if it does get out there by chance, 2000s Bonds can still run it down. Okay.
I don't know if he can. I'm just letting you know. I don't know.
Pittsburgh Bonds, I'd feel good about.
Yeah.
San Francisco Bonds is a different animal.
Yeah, playing center.
I think
you can't. You can't put Berkman in the out.
You forget about the beginning of San Francisco Bonds. He was a skinny little boy.
And then his head got real big because he got a lot of vitamins and minerals. Yeah.
He hadn't gotten them yet. He hadn't gotten over to the West Coast yet.
That's a hell of an outfield.
My outfield has Manny Ramirez, defensive liability, but Carlos Beltran and Jim Edmonds will pick up his slack. Brian's outfield is definitely the best defensive outfield. Andrew Jones in center, Ichiro in right, and Vladdy in left field, just throwing hoses to home plate.
So many just missiles in that outfield.
Yeah, it's just the arm of the century.
Whose 90s lineup were you taking?
Did you see our 90s lineups?
I don't think I saw it.
Okay.
I think I took Brian's.
Yeah,
I probably would have as well. Actually,
I'm looking at Brian's team, and it's
I was gonna talk shit to you, but like I would have taken this one.
Yeah,
he had the best draft, I think.
Yeah,
actually, he got the least amount of votes.
I mean, I got Cal Ripken hitting 8th.
I know, but he got the least amount of votes.
I mean, he's got Juan Gonzalez hitting 8th. That guy's hitting 50 homers a year.
Juan Gonzalez, what a throwback.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do we expect out of Jaden Daniels and the Redskins this year, Dr. Foy? I saw that. What did you think about the new jerseys, by the way, / old jerseys?
I loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them. I think that's probably going to be the rumor is those are going to be their everyday uniforms in 2 years. I mean,
and then the logo is going to come back here and maybe 4 or 5 years after that.
I'm going to guess not, but I could see them maybe doing like some sort of spear. It's like doing something with that logo, but I like it. It seems like a no-brainer. I mean, changing the whole uniform to begin with, fans hated. So going back to like what it was and just, it's, it was an easy way to like kind of meet fans in the middle. I mean, they're never going to go back to the name, like all the fans would want them to, but they could at least not try and look like a brand new franchise.
Dude, I bartend in West Ocean City, and there are a lot of Washington fans here, and every single shift somebody brings up how they need to change the name back. It's crazy. It's every day. It's like Groundhog Day. People are talking about it all the time. Is it like that in your circles as well, or no?
Yeah. So when the new owners came in, a lot of people thought they would eventually change the name. No one thinks they'll change the name back. Like, I think that should. But I think a lot of people hate Commanders. But now, like, Jaden Daniels was like the third highest selling jersey in the league last year. Like, I feel like you can't change it now. I think they'll try and go back to a lot of the same colors and uniforms so that like it feels like the same team. But there aren't many people that like the name. But I mean, if you win 12 games and go to the NFC Championship, I don't care what their name is.
Yeah,
Washington Sentinels.
Yeah, the Sentinels, baby.
I mean,
I got a Shane Falco jersey in my closet.
They had it teed up.
They had it teed up so good.
I know I'm wearing Phil Rivers today. I'm representing Phil, but I got a Shane Falco jersey in that closet.
Falco for life.
Just letting you know. Yeah.
Fun fact, I was at Phillip Rivers' senior night game at NC State in like 2002. They played Maryland.
Wow.
Maryland beat them in
shit.
That's a fun fact about Phil Rivers. He played Maryland 4 times and lost to Maryland
4 times.
Yes.
Full-time loser.
That's back before Randy Edsel ruined our football program. Sorry, Randy. You're catching strays on this podcast.
Rivers,
sorry, Randy, you fucking suck.
Oh, man.
I don't like anything about him. We have we'll keep Dr. Foy on. Do you got work to do here in a second? Can we keep you on?
I can hang for a bit.
All right.
Cool.
We're going to keep you on here for a second, but we got to bring our buddy Antonio on if he's still back there.
Yeah. He says
Antonio.
Hi. We can't see him, but I think he was there for quite a little bit there.
He was.
Antonio, we're trying to have you on. Hopefully you can get the internet worked out. We'll remove you from the stage here, and if we figure it out, we'll get you back on. Sorry about that. But we'll get Dr. Foy back on. Oh, are we back?
No, never mind.
No, okay. I also saw a drop in from Captain Drew Burton.
I saw Captain Burton in there, but we'll see. We'll see if he resurfaces. I think he got lost at sea there for a little while. There's Antonio.
He got lost.
There's Antonio.
He's got wooden legs, but real feet.
He does have a wooden
Antonio's here. Antonio, what's up, dude? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're good, man. We're watching the Oriole game. Are you watching?
Yep, I'm watching it.
Yeah, you think they're going to win today?
I think they're going to win 5-0.
5-0. All right. I like that. Heck yeah.
I like that.
I just wanted to give a shout. I just wanted to give a shout out to Brian. I saw him last Friday.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good.
Yeah, where'd you see him?
The restaurant he works at downtown.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Was it Canton local?
Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Yes, Speakeasy.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. How's Russ doing? How are your parents doing? Everything good?
Yeah, everybody's good.
Awesome. Hey man, well, we hope the Orioles win 5-0, and if they do today, we're gonna give you a shout out on the pod. We appreciate it.
Okay,
hey, Antonio, what are we doing at the trade deadline? Are we buying or are we selling?
Think we're gonna get some people.
I like it.
You like it?
Yep.
Outfielder, pitcher. Who do you like?
Both.
Both? All right. Yeah, I would like both as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we need both. We do need both.
All right, Antonio. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you.
See you, Antonio.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, man. See ya. That was Antonio. He is our guy. He calls in all the time.
Love that.
Yeah. And Dr.
Foy, turn that son bitch sideways.
Yeah,
there it is. Now we get a full frontal.
Yeah,
like
give
that.
me full frontal.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm looking for.
Foy, what did you think about the Brian Baker trade? Did you like it or did you dislike it? What do you have thoughts on it?
I'm cool with it. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, he definitely wasn't the reliever I thought that would get moved at least first. But with him having 3 years of control left, though, he doesn't have any options, so he can't have like if he has a bad month like he's had a million other times. You don't have a lot of flexibility there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind you getting a 37th pick. It's probably better than getting a 19-year-old kid from the Dominican that was probably the other option. And in a vacuum, like the 37th pick doesn't help next year's team. But if you think you're going to have to flip some other prospects, this offseason to get a pitcher or two, you probably want as many picks in this year's draft. So I don't hate it. I mean, It was awesome that he figured it out and it had been really good. I'm sure the Rays are going to make him even better. But it's, they've got a million picks now. I know fans don't like hearing about picks and prospects, but they're going to get a bunch of prospects at this deadline. It doesn't mean they're guys that are going to play in 5 years, but the more prospects you have, the more ammo you have to go get, guys that can help you now.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I was definitely surprised, but
yeah.
I was surprised. I was surprised it happened this early. Is really what I was more surprised about.
Right. And I guess if you're getting a pick, you got to do it now because the draft is in 3 days.
Yeah,
But,
you're right.
But yeah, I was definitely surprised, and I guess I never know what to take when you hear Elias talk because they're never going to be super truthful. I mean, no GM is, but he had said they weren't shopping him. The Rays reached out and they were aggressive, and they were like, "All right, we can't really pass this up."
What are your thoughts on the deadline in general? Do you think we're going to be soft sell? Do you think it's going to be a full blown sell? What are you expecting?
My guess is they're going to sell hard, but I wouldn't be surprised if they also try and you need to go get a pitcher or two under control, whether you do it in the offseason or you do it now. I could see them selling Hearn, Morton, Tomo, Eflin, Mullins, Soto, Sir Anthony. I could see them moving all of them, but also trying to get Mitch Keller or trying to get some sort of starter that it's going to be on your team for several years. Because you got to do it at some point, whether it's now or, in December. So
I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be all of them, but I think it's going to be some semblance of that.
Some combination of those guys.
Eflin, for example, if Eflin is still hurt in 3 weeks and you can't trade him, you hold on to him. You probably offer him the qualifying offer at the end of the year, which he's not going to take.
Yeah.
And then you're getting a comp pick back for him anyways, which is might be equivalent to what you're going to get from
which we love in Baltimore. We love comp picks in football and baseball.
And sorry, my hands in the way. And if you did take it, then you got him on a 1-year deal for $20 million, which you would like. So
yeah, for sure. Controllable asset that you can sell at the deadline. I don't dislike that at all. I think
to see what they get. All those guys are going to help. Mullins and O'Hearn, they're going to help contenders. I mean, they're Reynolds, so you're not going to get, you're not getting a haul for any of them, but you're still going to get something.
Yeah, I mean, but Mullins is attractive because he just doesn't cost much.
Right. Yeah. And he plays good, and he plays really good defense. Streaky hitter, but he plays great defense.
Streaky, and he can help you offensively. It's not going to be consistent, but he can be awesome for a month, and
he's an above average center fielder.
Totally.
Yeah. I like the Mitch Keller name. He's a Pirates farm system, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen a lot of Mick Abel, the guy from the Phillies. I don't think they're going to move Painter. But I think Abel is maybe gettable if you give him the right asset. What do you think about the Mountain? Do you think the Mountain gets moved, or do you think he's going to be?
I'm going to guess no. I mean, Elias isn't doing his job if you're not talking to people about it,
fielding offers.
But I would think you got to be blown away. If the Phillies are hey, we want him and Mullins, and we'll give you, Painter or one of those pitchers, and you probably have to think about it. But my guess is, you wouldn't move him unless you're getting, a legit arm who's going to be in your rotation for a few years. But I mean, I would think Soto and Sir Anthony get moved. Kittredge has an option, but he could get moved.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting.
I feel like Charlie Morton's probably gone at this point. He's pitched so well. Brooks brought up the stat earlier since May. He's got like a 3.3. I know he had a terrible start to the season. We talked about it earlier, but I think he's probably a likely candidate that's probably going to get moved at the deadline.
I think at this point he might be your most attractive pitcher.
Yeah, which is it's weird to say because
Crazy.
I mean 2 or 3 weeks ago we would have said Tomoyuki Sagano has a pretty good chance at Rookie of the Year, and now he looks like a broken shell of a pitcher.
Yeah.
We'll hopeful that he can get back to his form, but it doesn't look great over the last couple of weeks. But we've seen it, like we said just now. Charlie Morton, really bad first month. A couple starts, it's not going to kill you as long as you're confident in your stuff and you're
right.
you're going to be able to pitch through it. But
man,
anyway,
I think that there's got to. Sorry, I was watching the Orioles game a little bit. There's got to be some semblance of both here. I mean, I'm on the train here of like, you can't give up a week before the All-Star break when you're 7 games out of a bunch of teams that are on paper worse than you, and you have guys coming back, you have guys starting to play better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think they're really going to do much until like the week of the deadline. I think today was kind of a one-off, and I don't think moving Baker really changes like the playoff outlook. But yeah, I'd be surprised if they started flipping guys, in the next week. I would think it'll be that last few days.
Nobody does. You never really see it. You don't really see it until like the week. Honestly, you don't really see it in baseball until like the day or two before.
You every now and then you'll get the occasional trade. Like last year, you saw Jazz Chisholm. I think that was like a week before the deadline. That's a little bit weird. That's different, and that's a big name player that gets moved. But maybe you see one of those a year, if that. Maybe one every 2 years. But most of the time, it's going to be the 2 or 3 days for the deadline. Randy, you're a Cubs fan. What's going on with the Cubs? Are they buying?
They should be, man. They are.
They should have been buying forever.
They're entertaining as hell to watch.
No, this has been a great season. It's not what I expected, but everything's going too well right now.
Well, you guys lost your ace for the year about a month, not even a month ago,
right?
But just where
forever.
there are in the standings, and I'm just like,
boys are hitting.
Can we hold on to this? Can we make a run? Dusty, how do you feel? Like, what's your gut? How far can the Cubs go? Because
how far can the Cubs go? I think it's as far as the pitching rotation takes them. I think it's scary pitching rotation going into the playoffs in a 7-game set. I don't love the odds, but I'll tell you this: getting PCA for Javi Baez at the deadline a couple years back, dude, that's a freaking steal. That guy's a star.
So I want to while we're on before we move past this, how confident are we in like this is the PCA that is this him?
I'm pretty confident. I think the guy's really good, and he was a highly touted. Yeah. He was a highly touted prospect with the Mets organization for a really long time. And I know there was a lot of Mets fans that were really upset when they made that trade. Albeit, at that point, Javi Baez,
because he never made it up with the Mets, right?
Players. Yeah. No, he never made it up with the Mets. No, he's come up with the Cubs. But he was, he was one of those guys. He was like the Kelenic situation as well with the Mets. Just a very highly touted prospect. Didn't work out for Kelenic. But it has worked out so far with PCA. I think PCA is really good. I love just raw power and speed, and some of the plays that he's making in center field are ridiculous. The guy's a stud. Man. Yeah, and he's just the quintessential guy you want on your team. Like the guy you hate playing on the other team, and the guy you want on your team because he just does so many things well.
Yeah, I do look at him, and I do look at him, and I feel like if I was on the other team, I would not like that.
But I mean, I think if you're the Cubs, you trade for Kyle Tucker, and it's a 1-year operation unless you're going to extend it for $600 million or whatever the hell he's going to get. I think if you're the Cubs, I think you kind of got to be all in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it just sucks that they lost Steele, man.
Yeah, that does suck because that guy. I mean, we saw it in person. Brooks and I went to a Cubs game in person against the O's a couple years ago, and that guy just shoved it down our freaking throats that day.
When that was the height of like the Orioles being on fire, basically, like right when we were coming up. Obviously, we're in like this little lull period, but like that was like the height of like we felt like we were winning every single game.
Yeah.
And Steele shoved it up our ass hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Like couldn't even make solid contact.
Yeah,
it wasn't
bad.
even it wasn't even a competitive game.
I think we had 3 hits against them, and Adley had 2 of them. But it was a rough game for the O's that day. But yeah, I think the O's, or the Cubs. I think they got a bye. I think you got this 1 year, Kyle Tucker. He's one of the best players in the league. I think you got to try to go for it. And you know, I think they got a lot of talent. I think Nico Horner's a good shortstop. I think Ian Happ's one of the most consistent bats in the league.
He's playing second.
Is he playing second? Whatever.
Well, Dansby Swanson's at short.
Dansby, Dansby. Sorry, I just middle infielder. Nico was a really good shortstop before Dansby got there. But anyway, Ian Happ, one of the most consistent bats in the league. He's been really good for over the course of the last 7, 8, 9 years. Like I don't know how long, but I think you got a lot of talent there. I think that lineup can do some damage. I think you guys should buy, and I think you guys need starting pitching. Is that the sentiment in Chicago Cubs world?
It is, but also it's just like what else? Like what can go wrong before the playoffs?
Yeah,
a lot.
It's just a lifetime Cubs fan talking. But right now, hey, we love it. Like things are going well. It's working out. We got to get a win today, though.
Who do you guys play right now?
The Twins.
Ooh. You can win that game. They're not playing really well.
Yeah,
right
Twinkies aren't playing very well right now.
Well, we lost.
Oh man, it is raining. It's raining cats and dogs in Ocean City.
Well, it's raining in Baltimore too. I'm looking at the screen in Baltimore and it's starting to sprinkle there.
Yeah.
Drew just texted and said that there are a lot of Mets fans at the game, which I said last night. I felt like there was a lot of Mets fans at the game last night as well.
Yeah, you're always going to get that in New York and in the Boston series. I mean, it's cheaper for a lot of people to come down to Baltimore. They get to see a new stadium. They don't have to pay the outrageous ticket prices at Yankee Stadium or Mets.
Much nicer stadium.
Yeah, in the middle. You don't have to go to Flushing, New York, to watch a baseball game. Not that Baltimore, Maryland is any better, but just
the stadium.
I did go last year with the day game, and we played there, and Citi Field was pretty awesome. I mean.
Dude, the stadium's great, but the location is bad.
Yeah, but
the location sucks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's not the U.S. Open is right next to it, which is kind of cool. Like you get off the LIR
tennis.
and like one side is U.S. Open,
Arthur Ashe Stadium, I think it's called.
Yeah, but yeah, there's not much else up there. I think there will be because I think where they're redoing what's the last horse race in the Triple Crown? Why can't I think of it?
Belmont
is. I think the new one is like right down the street or somewhere up there. So I
didn't know they were building another play, or they're redoing somewhere.
I think they're redoing it. So like the Belmont this year was in Saratoga, and I think it's in Saratoga next year because they're redoing the track.
Saratoga, right?
No, normally Belmont's normally on Long
Belmont's
Island.
its actual plate. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when we worked there 10 years ago, then the Mets came down for 2 nights, and there were 15,000 Mets fans at each game. Fun fact: our boy Henry Urrutia hit a walk-off homer in one of those games. I don't know if anyone remembers him, the Cuban dude from like 2016. But yeah, there was always
that was like our first Cuban signing, and
yeah. But yeah, there was always a ton of Mets fans down there. So I think that's why it's a split doubleheader and not single admission, because there's like a good amount of tickets sold to both games. So they split it up.
It's not like I just saw a Sharkies hat. I hope that was Sharkies. I hope that was a Shark. I hope that was a Sharkies Canton.
Sharkies is great.
I love Sharkies.
So, I mean, people out here, if you're watching and you don't know where I live, Dusty lives in Ocean City. The doctor over there obviously lives in Canton, Baltimore, and me and AC Slater live in Indiana now.
You mean Austin Slater?
AC, yeah,
former Oriole great Austin Slater.
AC Slater's always been from. Did you ever live in California, or just your family?
I did.
There?
I lived born most of my life in Indiana.
But you were born in California. Okay.
I live in California, Texas, Florida, and Indiana.
So he spent most of his life here. I moved here. I'm a transplant. Obvious. I mean, we grew up in Pasadena, Anne Arundel County. But like people from out here think like New York is right around the corner from Baltimore. They also think Maine is right around the corner from Baltimore.
Yeah.
For the
Like
record,
the
I
state
don't.
of Maine.
He does. Yeah. Like they think like, yeah, you're right next to Maine, right? Like lobster's really big up there. I'm like, well, I mean, we're kind of known for crabs, not lobster, but they're like, you're pretty close to. Have you ever been to Maine? I hear Maine's beautiful. It's right there, right? I'm like,
People say this to you?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I want to honestly,
man.
I want to go to Maine. I think
I was like, I've never been there.
Maine
It's
is
like
awesome.
It's like it's 8 hours away, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
I've never
actually
been to
surprised
Maine
you've never
either, but
been
I've
to
heard it's
Maine.
awesome. That's the home of Ryan Flaherty and Gary Thorne, Nick Canner Medley.
Nick Canner Medley's from Maine.
Yeah,
Mr. Basketball.
Cooper Flagg is also from Maine.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that actually.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg about to average 25 a game at 18 years old, probably.
But yeah, Laura, the people from out here think that Maryland is when I tell them that Maryland is a southern state, they laugh at me, and I'm like, you realize that Maryland's south of Indiana, right? And they're like,
dude, who are you talking to?
I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm like, you are.
Brooks, who are you hanging out with? I don't.
Yeah. You're one of the only people I know that did not that everybody else is like lobster. I'm like, no, we get lobster in Maryland, but that's not what we're known for.
Crab cakes and football.
Yes, that's what Maryland does. All right, we are rambling. We are trying to keep it together. I'm trying to keep it together. You guys can, if you want to keep doing the watch along. I'm going to jump off here, guys. Thank you very much once again for liking, commenting, subscribing. Happy Thursday, July 10th. Hopefully the Orioles bring home 2 dubs today. They are down 1-0, and that looks like a double in the gap. But yeah, we're going to watch the rest of the game. We're going to watch the Scottish Open this weekend, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I am out. If you guys want to keep going, obviously, keep going.
I'm out too. Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
We will see you.
See you, boys.